Greetings, chat, and welcome back to the manor. I am your humble host, Rune, and yeah, I'm streaming today, yippee. I have not been doing the best. This month has not been great on me, but I am going to continue on with starting off with reminding you all why we're here. Okay, in the exclamation mark experiment. Um, so I have the simple task here of reaching Twitch affiliate without the help of any of my content creator friends or mutuals. I like to live a double life. The best way I can explain it really anymore. Um, where I have a lot of networking. Um, and I could hit affiliate way too quickly, and I'm proving that on the account that actually people know me on. Um, and that's just too easy. So I wanted to challenge myself, and here we are. Um, so there's that. Um, but yeah, I'm going to be very candid. Is that the right word? I hope it is. I'm going to be very frank with you, my dear Vamplings. This month, we're only on day what, 9? Yeah, we're only on the 9th day of April, and everything is just going to shit. I'm not going to get into it, but life sucks. It's fine. Do you want to know what we can do, on the other hand, that, will make life a lot more easier, or at least do a nice distracting from everything that's going on? Playing my favorite comfort horror game. That's right. Today we are playing the letter. We're going to try and get through, oh god, my brain is just blonked. Is this a tad bit loud, Autumn? There we go, that's a bit better. I might change around with the settings in a bit. Okay. Uh, so we have Rebecca's POV to still finish off, and last I checked, we have way too much left of it. But I hit a load game. Will it actually take me to where I am? No, I would just do this. Okay. Where the fuck were we? Here. Yes. We were here, and I can't remember what the fuck we were doing. Oh god. Okay, so we're at the party. All right, cool. All right, let's give you all a recap on what we've been doing. Okay, so we're playing Rebecca, who is high school, junior high. She teaches kids. um, and she's a little bit superstitious of things that are going on. So we'll go from here. So Rebecca, she received a housewarming invitation addressed to the parents. Okay, so first, that's not Rebecca. This is Rebecca. This is Rebecca Gales. This is who we're playing as. So she has parents who are tutors of more esteemed students, aka rich people's kids. Rebecca Gales received a housewarming invitation addressed to her parents that morning of October 25th. After informing them about it, she checked Isabella's apartment and was shocked to find that she hadn't come home last night. What about her friend's behavior? Becca informed Ashton about Isabella's disappearance. It turned out that she spent the night at Zachary's, and Ashton offered to pick her up. Rebecca went to school after and had a strange encounter in the hall. What? What? Not the hallway, guys. The hall what? With one of the student lockers. Zach. Okay, yep, there we go. While lining up to buy dinner, Rebecca saw Kylie Suarez with a suspicious man. Assuming it was a kidnapping, Rebecca elected to take the matters into her own hands, only to find out that the man was the girl's godfather, Luke Wright. An embarrassed Rebecca apologized afterward. Rebecca found Isabella going through several papers outside their apartment. When the former asked why she didn't come home the other night, the latter confessed that she saw a ghost once again. Before leaving, Isabella assured her friend that she'd find a way out of this mess. Fun. Moving on to this one. Okay, no, this is it. Luke was seen attending career day at St. Goretti High School for his goddaughter, where he met Rebecca again. Minutes later, a sobbing Kylie interrupted their conversation to report a friend crying in the girls' bathroom, which that had a bit of a scary encounter with it. It's funny. After the strange encounter in the little girl's room, Rebecca tried to remain composed throughout her day. As her classes ended, she received a phone call from Mary McCulloch, who asked unusual things about the Ermengarden mansion. Luke and Kylie invited Rebecca for dinner as she was about to leave. Despite receiving a text message from Ashton, Rebecca agreed, and the three spent the evening at the nearby coffee house. Upon returning to her flat, she found a note that Ashton left her. Continuing on. Isabella and Ashton arrived at Salemwell, having an argument about the missing BRC employee's investigation. Annoyed by the noise, Rebecca inferred that in the end asked Ashton to keep an open mind, because Rebecca started to catch on, like, I'm seeing some weird shit too, man. Like, I'm superstitious. Like, usually I don't believe in ghosts, but I keep seeing things, man. I can't, like, not see what I've seen. Like, hear the girl out. Hold on. I have to mute things. One problem I've had is the thing that I normally have, because I normally will have Discord open during stream, and it's mainly so, I can have my status being like, do not disturb, so then people don't disturb me while I'm streaming, because people will still message me when I'm offline. Normally I would do that on a different device, but said device is having issues, and that's what I'm going to get into at the moment. But I mean, I have to deal with things myself. I'm like, God fucking damn it. Okay. Okay, so this one's like covers everybody. So the Wright Mansion officially opened its doors with a grand housewarming feast. Zach, Ashton, Rebecca were all seen attending. However, what was supposed to be a day of merriment turned sour when Rochelle Lee, the chief inspector's wife, accused Luke of fathering her unborn child. And that's as far as we've gotten so far. So she's just been kicked out. And this is what this is about. Is that okay? We are we're currently at the party, and shit's going down. Alright, and also how we do this run, in case people don't know, is I am going through a run where I'm trying to get everyone to be, like, whenever I make an option, there's just the relationship part. I'm trying as much as possible to get it to go up. Obviously, I have fucked up in one regard, but that was one of those instances where I could only go one way or another. So I had to choose in that regard. So this one, I would say, you should be with your wife. Because is it true? Would kind of like ruin his reputation, because like, oh, I'm just in for gossip kind of. So, if we fuck up and this goes down, we will go back and change the option. Alright? Cool.
You know, brooding over here isn't going to fix this mess.
Yes, okay. As much as I hate the fuckwit, we gotta make sure we do things right.
Again with the lecture.
Will you stop calling it that?
Very well, what should we call this then? A heart-to-heart? Please don't, I might puke.
I mean, it'd be kind of funny to watch you puke.
And just so you know, I don't want to talk about feelings. Ever.
Ugh. Typical toxic masculinity.
This isn't one, alright? It's just a friendly concern.
Mm-hmm.
Bloody hell, can't you just take it for what it is?
He pauses at that. Suddenly, he doesn't know what to do with his hands, and in the end, he simply stuffs them back into his pockets and sulks. I read that as skulls. I love my dyslexia. There probably aren't many people who tell him that he's a difficult man to get along with, after all. I honestly won't give him a second of my time if I didn't see a different side to him. Dealing with him requires more than patience. When the awkwardness passes, mostly coming from him, he merely glances away. But the tightness in his shoulders has erased when he speaks again. Despite his rather rude choice of words, none has any venom in it.
Friendly concern, right. While we're at it, I should mention that Hana used to call that Viper friend. Now I think she might want to strangle the Munta if she sees her again. After she's done with me, of course.
I doubt she's going to do anything like that.
What do you even know about this?
Oh, I know enough. You may look like a sleazy douche, and you still are, by the way.
It's almost comical how fast his face shifts from a mild disdain to offended, but I don't let it distract me. These things need to be said, and he needs to hear them, even though they're coming from some meddling stranger.
But you have your few good moments. I might even say that you're a decent person, if I'm in the mood. Now go. If you really love her, you've got to try and fix this yourself.
Maybe tomorrow.
Luke!
Daisy, did you see her earlier? Was that the face of a wife who wants to have a chat with her cheating husband?
Oh, well, at least you admitted you did something wrong. Good for you. How about a star? Would you like a star to go with that good deed?
I'm sobbing, Rebecca. I love her sass.
Don't get used to it. Do you realize how awkward this is?
Oh, I do.
Before I've even thought about what to say, I've known there can only be two ways this can go. All things considered, it isn't as bad as I've assumed. However, there are some things my brand of encouragement can't fix. His marital problems, first and foremost, his attitude follows right after. Concerns aside, I can't help with those. Those are things only he can fix, and it's definitely not by standing around here bantering.
Don't worry, I was just about to leave. Feel free to continue with your brooding once I'm gone. I'm not going to tell anyone. Cross my heart.
I love Rebecca.
You think this is funny, Daisy?
Well, I think this is funny, actually. Laughter's the only response I give him. It's like, what? Stop sulking! Please tell me that was an actual achievement I got. Please tell me. That would be great. A slight wave of my hand, I end it right there and walk away. Although I can't resist the urge to glance back before I leave, only to have one last look at the man he really is. But the instant I turn my gaze on him, I see it. Oh no. Boys, I sense we're going to have some scariness afoot. I was right. I was right. Look at her. Poor lady. She deserves so much better. Looming, hovering over his shoulders, drawn to him like a moth to the flame. Like the first time I've stepped inside this place in search of Isabella. Was he here too? No, he was here too, wasn't he? That man, along with his wife and another person. Miss McCullough? The shadow. No. A woman now. No longer a dark blur. Terror rushes through every vein in my body. Crippling sensation. Gripping and crippling. Jesus. A crippling sensation gripping every part of me. No, gripping. Fuck! I can read! A crippling sensation gripping every part of me, while she stares at me with a glare filled with nothing but hate and venom. It's like staring at the eyes of a woman I've unknowingly robbed of something precious. I try to say something, a warning, but before I can gather my wits and voice it out, someone shuts the door behind me. As if to keep outsiders away from the secrets this mansion possesses. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Poor Luke. Poor Luke. That bastard man. A brush of fresh air against my cheeks does little to dampen the chill in my bones. By now the sensation, the fear and disquiet it leaves whenever I see her is familiar enough for me. Already it has made a home in my nerves. I don't even notice my trembling hands until I cross my arms across my chest. The cold from the tips of my fingers seeps through the thick material of my shirt. Neither of it helps bring together some semblance of coherent thought in my head. But I know I should.
Someone has to tell that douche.
Start walking back before fear can cripple me again. It's not wise. Returning, that is, especially after what happened. But Hana's still an old friend, and Luke doesn't deserve whatever misfortune that letter might bring. I just can't leave those two in there. Isabella's right. She's real, and there's something she wants from everyone who has read that.
Becca, where'd you go off to?
Ashton, you fuck. I can make bitter insults, I swear.
If you're done here, let's go. I'll get you back to the city.
My mistake, the second his voice cuts through the crisp night air, is that I've allowed my annoyance to get the better of me. Fuming, purpose forgotten, I whirl around and march towards him. Get his ass, Rebecca! One accusation, after another, piles up at the tip of my tongue, ready to be hurled at any moment. There's no hesitation holding me back when I fling it at him. That straight face he keeps as I do so doesn't help temper my anger either. It only makes me want to slap some more sense into him.
Shouldn't I be the one asking you that?
Get his ass, Rebecca.
Becca, I've been waiting here the whole time. I told you I hate parties like...
Oh, he didn't say the whole bit. Oops.
And before that, where have you been the entire evening?
Right then and there, I might have forgiven him if he's shown some ounce of remorse for leaving me like that. Maybe he could have looked away, given me a sign that my assumptions might be right. He doesn't even need to put them into words. A single gesture of confirmation is all I need. Rather, what I get is the same impassive look. He does that whenever he can't disclose anything. He does that whenever he's lying. In the face of it, amidst the thick tension, a frustrated huff is the only thing I can summon.
Be that way. Fine. Suit yourself.
No more words. After everything I've seen and heard tonight, I'm already too exhausted for those. So without speaking any further, I simply walk past him and stomp over to his car. Although, before I can pull open the door, he calls out, one hand outstretched, a gentle hand on my shoulders.
Wait, Becca.
He pauses, his brows furrowing and his lips curving into a slight frown. I can almost see the gears turning in his head, while he tries to piece together everything he wants to say. Before, perhaps, I might have waited patiently for those. He's not a man fond of using words to express himself. More often than not, any gesture of honesty will only come out blunt and coarse when forced. But for today, for one reason or another, I simply can't summon that forbearance.
Ashton, if you're just going to waste my time again...
Becca, listen. I don't know how else...
That much is obvious. Why don't you just take the whole bloody night? Go on. I can wait until next year. Better yet, why don't you just keep it all to yourself like you always do? It's not like...
Rebecca, will you hear me out first?
I don't know. You kind of don't give me a reason to. You've been an ass. That's a reason why we call you Asshole. The silence I can offer him. But whether I'll believe what he's about to say is still up for debate. A very long debate.
I honestly don't know how else to put this. I'm aware your parents have some kind of history with Hana Wright, and somehow you're friends with her. But you should stay away from these people for now. Especially the husband.
Who? Luke?
His expression deepens into a scowl at the mention of the name, but whatever opinion he has, he doesn't immediately voice. Still, something about it has greatly displeased him, evident in the stiff note his tone assumes.
Yeah, he's bad news.
Ooh! Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Okay. It is my turn to frown this time. What does he mean by that? Okay, what the oh god. Okay, Ash, we need to fix our friendship. Oh god. Okay. What do I pick? What do I pick? What are we on right now? We're like shit as fuck. Okay, so I don't know which one's gonna get me anything. Okay. So I'm gonna try either or. There's a high chance it's gonna do nothing for us. It's just I feel that. Okay. So I wanna see what this one does.
Oh, what does he have to do with this?
Okay, that makes it worse. Okay. Load.
Care to explain your reasons?
Okay, we fixed it to default. Yay. I've not meant it to sound as harsh as it does, but anger and frustration have never been a good match in me. Particularly in nights like this. It's not surprising when Ashton jerks back as if I've struck him. For fleeting moments, something akin to hurt darts across his features, his eyes narrowing and his hands closing it tightly in fists at his sides. Then swiftly he glances away and shifts his focus on the line of trees nearby, like an answer can be gleaned from the dark expanse.
I'm really sorry, Becca.
Is it for the party? The vague answers he continues to give? Does it include all those times before this, the year's worth of it? I don't doubt its sincerity. However, at the moment, the forgiveness he's asking isn't something I'm all too willing to hand, furious as I am. It's frankly a wonder how I can keep myself from raising my voice at him.
We'll talk about this tomorrow. And you better have a proper answer for me by then.
Yeah, please, Ash. There's a brief hesitation before I step away, a short moment of wanting to say more, of waiting if he has anything to add. He's only silent, eyes still trained at the distance. It is the last glimpse I see of him before I climb inside the car. If the door slams close, the same force as the anger I am holding, its sounds merely vanishes into the night, unnoticed. He follows soon after, and shortly we're on our way back to the city. Yet, even with city's bright lights and welcoming us, the dense, somber air of the mansion still lingers. The moon is almost at its highest by the time we reach Salem Well. Even after our respectable heads have cooled off, the atmosphere within the car remains rife with unspoken tension. Can we cut it with a knife? Is it that thick? Is it that thick? Is it as thick as pea soup? Where Scooby-Doo from that one episode of the Globetrotters were like, oh, pea soup? He was Globetrotters. It's been a while. This isn't a problem so easily fixed with a few handshakes. Quite frankly, I don't know what will. Ashton himself has no idea what to do when he alights and dawdles awkwardly in the middle of the car park, unsure. It almost seems as if he's having an internal debate whether he should say goodbye or mutter another apology. I could have driven him away purely out of spite the second I've gotten off. Still, old habits die hard. It's late and Ashton's flat's on the other side of the city. Irritation might still rear its head every time I look at him right now, but I'm not too cruel to put him on another long drive. Especially when he still appears as if he hasn't gotten any rest.
You can borrow the couch.
I throw my keys to the flat his way before a protest forms on his lips. Although he catches it with ease, he eyes it with a wary expression and shoots a puzzled glance my way.
You haven't been forgiven. We're still going to have that talk, believe me. But I'm not about to send you out on another drive looking like that. It's late. Go get some rest.
We're setting aside a lot of those loose ends like this, but he appears to have accepted that reason, at least in the meantime. He does give me another questioning glance when I shove past him, pulling my mobile in the process.
Where are you going? I thought...
You go ahead upstairs. I need to contact Professor Andrew.
Andrew? Why would you... Oh, no. Please. Is this that thing Isabella said this morning? Again?
I don't want to talk with you about this, you fucker.
I already gave her my word, Becca. I'll look into this BRC crap. No need to drag the old guy into it.
Of course he's still skeptical. It makes me wonder. It makes one wonder if he's even seeing anything at all. Fix's curse will stay away from the scoffer. But this is another loose end tonight that I just can't leave alone. Ashton's beliefs notwithstanding. It just so happens that it's one I can delve into using means other than taking a look at the mansion itself.
Ashton, do you really think I still give a shite after that stunt you pulled tonight?
No, but this is...
Spent so many years with him to know that this is about to turn into another argument. Before he can finish it, I cut him off with a firm raise of my hand.
Look, I don't care. There are weird things happening around here. And yes, it's Isabella's brand of weird. Ghostly voices, strange sounds, and a bloody woman sitting at the back of my car. You don't have to believe me. And I no longer have the patience to convince you, so just leave me be, Ashton.
He doesn't push it. Growing quiet instead, although I knew he has a whole case for prepared inside his head. But there's a reluctant shift in his movement when he steps away from our conversation. Short of climbing the stairs, he stops, turning to face me with an expression almost too conflicted.
Are you really sure
What?
that there was something? That you've been, seeing things?
Yes, I'm very, very certain. Now go, and you better not break anything in there. The last time I let you stay over, it was that statuette Belle gave me. You haven't even replaced that one.
Oh, this he's very much an asshole, isn't he? The last of my reprimand goes both unheard and unanswered as he disappears behind the stairs. Things aren't as strained. He might have quibbled to about that, followed by a light banter. Instead, for a long moment, I am left staring after him. There's something in the way he asked if that... There's something in the way he asked it that nags. Coupled with his expression, the whole exchange just feels unsettling. Gee, I was not expecting that, hello. One that doesn't fade as I gather my thoughts and shift my focus on another, even as I dial Professor Andrew's number. And that is when it clicks. During the long wait for the professor, one stray thought emerges from the unease. Ashton has not intended for this question to be a jibe. It's concern. For what, though? For my well-being? The letter's curse? The woman I mentioned? The answers for those will have to wait, however. Finally, the call connects and Professor Andrew's voice echoes from the receiver.
Professor Andrew?
Rebecca? It's late. What can I do for you?
I know, I'm sorry, but this is a bit urgent.
After all, this is more pressing matter. Our lives might be at stake and we're still in the dark.
Actually, I was wondering if I could ask you to do me a favor.
Oh, we don't get to know what the favor is? We're skipping to Sunday? Man, I need a drink. I need a drink real quick. Hold on. It did not help. That's so annoying. Shut the lid. There we go. Professor Andrew Clark has agreed to meet with me 2 days later in front of Luxbourne's public library. That's not the right one. He has other commitments, but being a longtime family friend has its perks. I have my parents' connections to thank for that. Of course, I'm not the sort to impose on him often, but the situation is, well, it's not entirely bad, although it does require calling in a few favors from friends like him. Without his signature, I won't be able to gain access to the library's restricted section. If I want to get more in-depth information on the Ermengarde mansion, that is. Not simply what they choose to show to the general public. As much as I hate to admit it, there's always something people censor. And what if it is, I won't ever find it in the general section. It has to be what they're keeping here beyond the public eye. The thought of that alone makes me antsy. Thankfully, I don't have to brood over it. The wait for the professor doesn't last long. He never did enjoy making people wait. Likewise, he dislikes people who are tardy. He arrives 5 minutes after I do, greeting me with that kind smile and casual wave of his hand. I haven't seen him in so long, but it appears he hasn't changed much. His familiar presence alone is enough for a fond smile to spread across my face.
Professor Andrew.
Rebecca, didn't I say long ago you can drop the professor?
You know I can't possibly do that. Even if I can, it feels disrespectful to call you by your name alone.
Both you and Ashton never listen to this old man. Kids these days.
All right, but just for today, since you're doing me a huge favor, Andrew.
I guess you simply can't have it all, even at this old age. But pleasantries aren't what we're here for, yes? You mentioned you needed a permit.
Yes, sir, if that's okay with you.
More than fine. Anything in pursuit of knowledge, as they say.
I mean, this is definitely for the pursuit of knowledge. He hands me the permit without further prompting. Yippee! Look at that, we can go in and get the restricted books. I hope it doesn't lead into anything sinister. Anyways. Just like he promised. He's also written a recommendation after his signature. This is more than enough to get me those files. I mutter a small thanks before slipping it into my pocket. Although when I look back up, his brows are furrowed at the face of curiosity. Not surprising considering how vague I've been during our little talk over the phone. Right then and there, I've decided to tell him if he ever asks. Maybe not all of it, but some stuff he needs to know. It's the least I can do to thank him. As expected, true to his inquisitive nature, he asks.
If you don't mind, though, I know you've always been an eager learner, but may I know what in the restricted section that piqued your curiosity?
It's the God Mansion, sir.
He's quick to raise an eyebrow at that, and for a while I fear he'll need the slip of paper back. Was there something in what I said?
The ones they have out in the general isn't enough?
I'm, hoping for a more in-depth read, sir. More about the history and the people who once lived there. The general section doesn't have anything much on that.
Oh, I see. Well, you certainly aren't the first one to be enamored with that place.
I mean, I'm not surprised. It's a legend for the town and all.
It doesn't shock me. The architecture is admirable, and the urban legends are something to talk about. Why, just this past week, I've got a few asking me about that. Imagine that.
I wonder who. I wonder who. There's probably quite a few. Hold on, I'm curious to actually see. Branching tree. Where's my tree at? Where? How far are we? How far are we? Hold on. Oh my god, I passed us way off. Thank fuck. Oh god. Wait, hold on. I just skipped all of that? Please tell me that it's actually attached to something. It is. It's very tiny. Oh my god. What fucking route am I on? I missed all that. God damn. God damn. God damn. Oh god, the shit I skipped. What is this? Okay. Boys, we're almost at the end of the chapter. I speed ran so quickly. That's wild. I speed ran so quickly. We're ignoring a certain part of this tree because I know what's coming up.
I think enamored might be a little too much to describe our interest in it. But I have to agree. The mansion is beautiful, even with the renovations. They kept the stained glass windows too. They are magnificent.
Probably because it kind of looks a bit like Hana and Luke, which is kind of not helping the whole urban legend situation.
Oh, you've seen it.
I was there for a few hours to attend a housewarming party. The invitation was for my parents, but they couldn't make it. My mum used to work as a private tutor for the Evans. Hannah, right?
Ah, I know of her. Her husband, too. Who doesn't?
Well, Rebecca certainly didn't.
Luxborn's most popular couple.
Something falls behind his eyes, the warmth in them suddenly gone. Like he's reliving a painful, distant memory and seeing it play right in front of him. It disappears almost as soon as it surfaces, but that look has unsettled something in me.
Is something the matter?
Nothing much. But you know, you're already like a daughter to me. So if you could, do be careful with the friends you make.
Oh,
Is this about the rights, sir?
Just a friendly advice from an old man. Don't think much about it.
I kind of need to.
Anyway, I have to leave now. Can't miss my weekly serving of bear claws. Say hi to your parents at the detective inspector for me, will you? I wish you luck with all that research.
What the fuck? She just refers to Ashton as detective inspector.
I will. Thanks for this, Andrew.
Andrew gives my shoulder a light squeeze. The gesture younger me is always appreciated, and quickly crosses the street after. I watch him until he disappears behind the door to a cafe, until the doubts swimming inside my head finds a moment of rest. Just two rest, but I said I don't care. Whatever his business is with the rights isn't anything I should concern myself about. But somehow, in the grand scheme of things now, all of it feels oddly relevant. It's a small town, Rebecca. The how, though, I've yet to find out. And I'm hoping the library will give me the answers I want this time. Library. On a gloomy Sunday morning, the library is especially empty. The second floor, in particular. I've always considered this place to be a sanctuary, a respite away from the hubbub of the city. As a child, I grew up reading the books here, spending hours here to no end poring over the pages, living out fantasies in my head until my parents called me home. Ah, I see you're also into the escapism. Now it feels nothing like it. Silence is smothering, suffocating. Even with how clean they've kept the microfiche? Microfiche? I don't know how to read that word. But the room, how the entire small of it lacks a speck of dust or clutter. Breathing is a struggle for air. Not far into my stay, I begin to long for the noise outside, and perhaps there was a way to calm with this unease. I start to hum a tune. Imagine that. Oh, not London Bridge. My dear, no. Why of all things it has to be that silly nursery rhyme? I'm not an inkling. Fair lady. It does its job, however. It fills me with the lull of something far less awkward, far less deafening, and that is enough for a distraction. I have business here. No time for silly daydreams, only important work to attend to. So dumb that it was the London Bridge, considering that's all the fuck that Kylie's been singing, and also Kylie sings that when, you know, that those things around. I don't like this foreshadowing game. Even if there's a possibility of it being fruitless, by some means it feels like I have to do it. If not for me, then for the people who have been affected by this. What do I even call this? A haunting? A Halloween prank gone wrong? A curse? If Isabella were here, what would she say? Will she panic? Will she be angry or only listen to her now? It all stems from that one moment in the movie house, doesn't it? We could have avoided this had we only taken her warnings to heart. One stupid mistake is all it took to send our normal lives in our downward spiral. I can read. Frankly, I'm no longer sure if I'm angry at myself for it, or at the universe for throwing us into this mess. But we can only make do with what little we have, and that's exactly what I'm doing. Going here might not be the right decision, but it's smart.
A good start.
It is a start. Doesn't make much time for me to find what I need. A microfiche of old news, a microfiche. I don't know. It's a newspaper clipping. Long kept in special storage cabinets in the far end of the restricted section. This is the year is 2016. 20s. I can read. Before the city of Luxburn even exists in the records, when the mansion had just been built, Anselm is nothing more than a small sleepy cabinet near a river. A lot of pieces are missing, days, sometimes several consecutive weeks without any records remaining. Often, it goes on for years. Troublesome, but as it is, I'm lucky enough to find anything at all, considering how far I'm looking back. I'll be picky now. Can't waste time mulling over what record keepers of the old would have done to make this a breeze for me.
I can still work with this.
The faint whir of the machine keeps me company as I go over each slide, each image, hoping for something that goes beyond what the local lore knows. There are snippets, little mentions of the family that once settled in the house were here and there. And the usual singing of praises for the couple who've helped brought up what was once a tiny settlement into a buzzing town. Nothing substantial, nothing I didn't know before. It continues on like this for a good while, until I come by the years after their deaths. People of Ansem might have loved Lord William and Lady Elizabeth Ermengarde, mourned their passing, and held them in high esteem in the years after. But it was their daughter that was remembered fondly by the townspeople. If her parents built this town, Lady Charlotte was the one who made it prosper. Remarkable, considering it was a period of recovery from a bout of plague that killed half the town's population, including her parents. Ah, there we go. What's surprising, though, apparently, her time also marked more than superficial changes to the place. Free at last, Eyre puts a stop to local slave trade. I wonder why this lady looks familiar. Apparently yeah, okay, I read that. She moved things, changed laws, altered old customs and traditions. If they were done on a woman's whimsy, it doesn't say, but she seems capable enough for more than that. The gist of it is, the town she rebuilt but eventually grew to become Luxbourne City, while the nearby Ansem village remained as it was, a relic of the old. A frown swiftly forms in my face.
So, why is there a need to hide this?
One by one, I try to recall every lesson I've gone through, every book, paper, and journal I've read. None of those ever mentioned this. It's always the lord and lady of the house, their endearing child, always an afterthought to those anecdotes. The one who always took her life. In the end. Okay. Never someone who restored a town from the brink of collapse or brought new ideas to it. Is it because she's a woman? Oh, sexism. In a game.
That pisses me off.
Yeah, it pisses me off too, Becca. Granted, not everything is sunshine and rainbows. Not all aspects of her can be considered admirable. But this is history. Some parts are bound to naturally delve into unpleasant territory, whether I like it or not. Oh. Interesting. Luxbourne witch burns. Witch hunts, for example, became common near the end of her life, which would have been completely unremarkable and might have gone to become a mere footnote in history if it didn't involve Lady Charlotte and the very slave she saved. Ooh. It caused quite a stir, enough to leave almost a week's worth of clippings. The girl was eventually burned, condemned by an entire town, at the word of Lady Charlotte alone. This wasn't really have anything to do with the curse, does it? I don't know, does it? Does the lady look kind of familiar? You probably wouldn't be. No, she's not covered in all those wounds. Unless that woman following us and the slave are the same person. There you go. Tale of vengeance? How cliche. However, with the lack of accurate photographs, it's impossible to tell. Maybe if I squint, the illusion will start resembling her. But in my field, it doesn't work that way. It shouldn't work that way. I'll be the laughingstock of the community.
This isn't going anywhere.
Oh, no, it's going places. That is definitely a theory you could follow. Mentally exhausted, I take the careful step away from the screen, pressing my palm on my tired eyes. A lack of ample light in this area doesn't help. A headache already threatens to form at the back of my head, yet I'm nowhere near figuring things out. It's simply too much to take it in all at once.
I should have asked for someone's help.
Yeah, Isabella would totally have helped you. Now I'm at a dead end. I start gathering everything around me and placing them back in their respective envelopes for storage. The motion's no longer new after volunteering here after a number of times. It didn't make much mess anyway, considering the lack of materials available to begin with. I'll have to look somewhere else. Where remains unknown, though. It's just as I'm about to pass the last slides in, something catches my attention. My hand pauses. One of them half raised through its protective sleeve. This is one of the few I've set aside without taking a careful look at. It seems like a gossip column at first glance, but upon closer look, I slide it back into the reader, gently turning the dials in search for the page. It takes some time, but once the image becomes clear. Ermengarde heir announces betrothal. They must have had this drawing commissioned for this announcement. I don't doubt it. The details are far more intricate, their likeness likely closer to what they might have appeared in at the time. They're both recognizable this way, closer to those paintings I've seen at the mansion. However, the man standing beside her, Edward Godfrey, according to the article that caught my attention previously, her first cousin, ugh, and eventually her fiancé. Maybe it's the posture, the manner in which he holds himself. Or maybe it's the shape of his eyes. I can't be too certain about it until I've gotten a better reference. Nevertheless, there is a resemblance. He looks eerily like... My head snaps up, glaring at whoever is running on the floor above. Any day I march upstairs and reprimand whoever it is.
This is the library, for heaven's sake.
But now, this isn't the time. I've gotten what I need. Without wasting another minute, I hit the machine's print button for a copy of the page, while my other hand moves to put everything back into storage. A ragged exhale slips from me. Relief, perhaps. Or maybe this is already exhaustion. Regardless, soon I'm closing my eyes to wait for the printer to finish, if only to stave off the headache building up from everything. Don't fucking... Plummet! My dear! No! No, I don't like where this is going! Yeah! My dear, my dear, my dear, my dear. No, stop. Sometime. I've even become humming the same song again for comfort. Despite my doubts about this, despite all the tension in my shoulders. Maybe a small fine, but at least I can start somewhere. We can start somewhere. There's a way out of this. I know it. The printer spot is still hold. However, the sound isn't what makes me snap my eyes open. I don't like this in my ears. Chilling. Feeling a chilly brush of air behind my back. A brief enough for something sickening to suddenly lodge itself in my throat while I take in my surroundings. It's that suffocating sensation again. Creeping to every part of me, crawling under my skin, draining me little by little of any strength. From that day in the mansion, from that brief moment at the school. Without delay, I grab the papers and make a quick beeline for the door. Fucking hell. My whole body resists.
What are you doing, Miss Pink?
Not the Kylie voice! I hold my breath, not daring to make any noise. For only a little while, the only sound of papers crumpling under my grasp fills the room. The excitement from earlier gone instantly. Replaced by cold, seeping dread, spreading throughout my limbs. But more than the fear is the anger. It pains me to hear her using my own student's voice against me. I more than once believed it was really her. She has no right.
Why don't you play with me?
Because you're not real. You're a ghost, my dear. Oh god. Okay, although she hasn't made a move, if there isn't a wall behind me, I'd probably take a step back. Anything to put distance between us, no matter how small, as long as I'm out of her reach. But I steel myself, because if I do fall back, turn away from her, I'll be left with no way out. I am not dying here.
You think you scared me?
Miss Pink, don't be so rude. I'm waiting.
I'm deliberately looking up here because it just sends shivers in my spine.
I'm not afraid of you, you spook.
You Rebecca!
This is one Scotswoman. You aren't getting into an early grave without a fight.
Yes!
Come at me.
Oh my god, Becca. What the fuck? I expected she'll lunge, prove me to be the monster that she is. Instead she gives me, okay, that I can look at. That one's not too bad. Instead she gives me a smile, twisted and gnarled, as if time has called to a stop at the sight of it. A split-second decision. Before I know it, my body shifts. Eyes closing in anticipation, hand grabbing whatever's solid enough on the nearby table and hurling it at her. I don't bother looking if whatever threw hits the mark. I run, as fast as my legs can carry me, despite my heart threatening to burst out of my chest. But in this maze of bookshelves, the whole place almost void of people. Head for the door. I know for a fact hitting upstairs is a bad idea. If there's one, it is out of this room, out of this place, as far away as anyone can get from her. I can think about the rest of what I can do after I'm outside, when there are people I can ask for help, when she's not chasing me after me like this. There's no hesitation in my steps as I race for the restricted section's door, head downstairs, and barrel straight for the library's exit. Towards safety and desperate bid for my life. Library rules be damned. I can no longer hear her behind me, but I'm not taking any chances. A breath almost escapes me as I near the door. A little more, and when out of nowhere, a library car careens from the blind corner and slams into my sides. My back hits the floor with a hard thud. The impact completely knocking the breath out of me. The copper tang of blood gradually spreads over my tongue as I fight to get my bearings back. I force myself to move, even then with the excruciating pain coursing through my limbs. The exit's almost there, if only I could... But there's no moment of respite. Hi. Hi, dear. The next thing I know, there's a heavy weight on top of me and cold digits slide around my neck, tight like a vice, pressing, closing in, leaving me gasping for air. Through my blurred vision, I could only make out the hateful gleam, in spite of her eyes as she looms over my body and her grip on my throat grows tighter. Desperation kicks in. My nails dig into her wrist as I struggle against her firm grip, trying to pry her fingers away.
Let me go.
I don't think twice. My limbs are moving on their own before what I did could fully register in my brain when my lungs could recover. So, if I didn't have quick time off, that would have been a quick time event, by the way. Behind me, she lets out a cry, sharp, loud, and thunderous against the empty walls of the library. But the fear her wails bring compares nothing to the relief washing over me when I finally make it out. Escape. We have escaped. We escaped, we're fine. I need a drink. Y'all can listen to breathing while I do this. Okay. My knees buckle as soon as my feet hits the pavement. Its surface cold and hard against my skin. I've only been in there for a few hours, but I wanted to, probably. I don't know anymore. It feels like an eternity all the same. My breathing hasn't slowed down yet, and I don't expect it to after going through that. I probably look the most undignified creature on a Sunday morning right now, out of breath, disheveled, slumped hair, and a bloodied lip and all. But at present, I simply can't bring myself to care. Even when a few passers-by start giving me strange looks. I stare at me all you want, I don't give a single shite. I'm alive. I'm safe. This isn't the end yet, but I'm safe. And inside my bag is something that could get us out of this mess. Nothing definite yet. I don't want to get my hopes up, but it's still something. If Isabella is here, I'm sure she'll feel the same. She'll even be the first one who'll put her faith on it. Wherever this will lead us is a victory on its own. Now, all that's left is to find the others, the rest of us trapped in this bloody nightmare. Right on cue. As if an answer to my previous thought, my mobile phone lets out a beep. I pick it up, simply hoping it'll be one of them. Only it's a voicemail that greets me. From Ashton. It's a pang of disappointment, of course, but it brings some reassurance that there's nothing happened to at least one of them.
Hey, Becca, call me back when you're free. We need to talk. ASAP.
Yeah, how did your talk go, by the way? He ends it right there, the message less than a minute long. Curtin gives nothing away. I will let it ease my worries regardless and do as he asks, because this too is another triumph for us. One less thing to worry about. Let's go! We finished! We're done! Oh yeah! That's the last thing for Rebecca. We're on to Ash Hole. Yippee. Why does his start now? What the fuck? Why are we starting at the manor? Fuck. Hold on. Hold on, I need to save. I need to save. I need to save. Jeez, okay. Oh my god. Okay. Alright, so what is this man's okay. Luke is so tiny and so is Hana's, because he doesn't know these three people. But he knows these three. Funny that like Isabella's quite low, yet you know, we've got the relationship quite high. And Rebecca's like this, Sakura's like that. Okay. So we're now playing as Detective Boy. Why does he have his gun out? Put your gun away. Put your gun away. Okay, we're gonna go to profiles. Let's read what we've got for Ash. And so he's 29. His birthday is Boxing Day, Lamau. He's 5'5". Okay. He's a detective inspector, American Japanese. He's Christian but non-practicing. He's got a bachelor's degree in forensic science. He likes taiyaki, ice cream, Shirley, Ophelia, old-timey action movies, and thrillers, kart racing, jazz and swing, Sherlock Holmes, and justice. Okay, Batman. There was little love between his parents, and though he grew up privileged, he found little joy in student life. He saw the standard testing system as a chore and considers his popularity among his peers to be an annoyance. Rebecca was the only one he considered a friend in St. Goredy, and he was no better when he went to university. If anything, his indifferent outlook got worse with his parents' divorce. He initially took law, but was quickly disillusioned by... I was not finished reading! Let me go back. Initially took up law, but was quickly disillusioned by how heavy-handed and abused the system was. Forensic science, on the other hand, became fascinating for him. He served a brief time as a police officer before he applied to join Luxman's Criminal Investigation Department. Early on, he was too eager to deal out justice, but his numerous years in service became quite the learning experience for him. Now, as a detective inspector, he's been assigned to his biggest case yet. Oh, gee, I wonder what it could be. Yeah. Mr. Frey. Eventually we'll get this man. Eventually. And then we're gonna punch him in the face when we get him. Yeah. We've done chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5. I thought we would have been longer for chapter 5. No, we've only been going for an hour. What the f... Do I want to keep going now? Do I want to keep going? That was the real question. Oh god. Maybe. Maybe. I think. Hold on. I have to yawn. There we go. Okay. But let's check the branching tree just to decide what the fuck. Why is this man so linear? Why is this man so linear? Okay. Okay, he gets more complex though, thank fuck. So basically, I think... Hold on. Oh god, his is longer. I think, hold on. Let me click on Rebecca. God, Ashton's is longer! Oh, I hate that here. Okay, so I'm assuming, like, all of this is, will depend on, like, your previous actions from previous chapters. I think this might be, like, your first, like, proper, like, choice. And then things start to get convoluted. Damn. Damn, that's gonna be fun. So, there's a reason why I chose a specific thing. I went the wrong way. Lamau. I went this way. I thought I was going this way. Lamau. I will explain this one. If I went for the roof, going upstairs would have taken me to the roof, and there's a high chance I would have died. So, that I am aware of. So that's why we didn't go that route. Because, you know, getting cornered on the roof, nah, I'm not falling to my death, fuck that. So now we're on Ash. So Ash, because this is what this is. This is a quick time event. This is where you can die. God, I forgot how convoluted he gets. I forget how convoluted he gets. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god, okay, and then more linear things. Okay, wait a minute, hold on. Jesus! How many choices is this? I'm trying to remember whereabouts in the game this part is. Because I know we spend a lot of time as this man in this thing, and I'm like, oh god. Oh god. This thing terrifies me. Like, jeez, this is so complex. Why is Ashton so complex? Why must the complicated man be complex? Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, so it's not too bad here. Like, there's so many lines, but that's because there's so many options. And if they're all presented, like, you know, right where they would be in the story, we would not be able to see this because it'll be branched up in different ways. Whee! Okay, so then it gets easier there. Then it gets easier here. Does he have any other death options? That's what I want to know. Does this man have any other death options? Whee! 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 No. Yes? Maybe? No. Probably not. If this man dies, this man dies. And then we get Luke at the end. Okay. Okay, all the way to the end now. Okay. I have made a mistake. I have made a terrible error. Can I just grab it and go, whee! Okay, yes, I can. I can. Alright. I'm gonna take like a quick little break. To grab another drink because my drink is not helping my throat. And then we'll be right back. And we'll try to continue Ash, because Ash is also gonna take forever. How long we'll go for, I have no idea yet. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out, I promise. But yeah, while I am away to go quickly grab myself a new drink, I highly encourage you all to hydrate, go get a snack if you haven't eaten in a while, stretch, go to the bathroom if you need to, and if you are prescribed on any medications and you have not taken them, if you need to take them now, please do. I will be back shortly. I just need to set up a song. I need to set up a song for you guys. Hold on. I need everything to stop playing in my ear for a real quick minute. There we go. I'll spin your mic for a moment there. Hold on. No more. No silly song. No more silly song for you. Welcome back. Don't worry, I'll get the game back up. There you go. Alright, that took a lot longer than I thought it was gonna be. I'm still not actually fully back. Hold on, I need to double check things. Where's my Twitch inspector? We're going fine. Awesome. That's all I need to see. So, we're gonna do some of Ash's part. I don't know how long we're gonna go for, but we are going to do it nevertheless. What's the time? It's currently 10 AM New Zealand. I'm not gonna lie, getting up early this morning was nuts. Especially because, like, I went to bed I didn't go to bed at 4 last night, but I did the night prior. And so I'm like, I now have to go to bed at a reasonable amount of time to last night. And then tonight, I have to go to bed even earlier. Because, another reason why we're messing around with the times for, like, streams and stuff is, I have a marathon, a movie marathon I have to do with some friends. And I have to get up at 5 AM for it. And, like, it's going to go for, like, over 10 hours. And I'm sitting here being like, I could stream afterwards, but I doubt I'm going to have the energy because of how early I'm going to have to get up. So, streaming today instead. And then depending on how that will affect, depending on how tomorrow goes, will depend on if I can do my date everything stream on Saturday. I probably will, just might be at a different time than 9 a.m. I'm hoping to still do it at 9 a.m, but we'll see how tired I get. But I'm gonna focus now on this. So, just gonna quickly do my own proper strategies because I didn't get to do that beforehand. Okay. Ash hole time. Let's go. Okay. Parties have never really been my thing. They've always such a hassle and takes up so much time off my day. Prior plans and commitments cancelled, all for the sake of playing along with others.
Welcome everyone.
I hated them even as a child.
Please make yourselves at home.
Realize this new drink needs a cover. There we go. But Mom often insisted. She'd slick my hair back, put me in some of those stuffy dinner jackets, and if there were any other children around, urged me to make friends. Never mind how utterly loud or tedious it was all for the sake of keeping up appearances. To some extent, lies have already surrounded me, long before I've chosen what I wanted to do with my life. Luckily, there were always easy ways to tune everything out, and much to my mom's frustration, I always managed to sneak my CD player along. To keep myself and to my music, I had my own little world. Until I learned to observe. It's a simple matter of awareness, really. Did I not shut my door properly? I did not. Hold on. I gotta fix this. Slam it, the door. Slamming doors are not good, but like my door does not shut otherwise. It's really annoying. Okay. And for someone with keen eyes, a skewed necktie or a simple flick of the wrist alone could tell volumes about a person. I still don't like parties, especially ones with big as fancy as the Wright's housewarming. However, when there's actual reason to go to them, I figure they're not too bad.
Be careful with Shirley, alright?
Besides, like it or not, it's all part of the job. I'm here on a mission. One that has the name of Luke Wright plastered all over it. You'd think the man would want to remain inconspicuous after his name was linked to several high-profile crimes across Luxbourne. Granted, most of it had gone cold over the years, having stagnated without any lead or evidence, but that still doesn't make him any less suspect. Yet here he is throwing a party in his own backyard. Although having observed the man this past year, I'm not even shocked. He craves it, the damn spotlight. Constantly yearns for attention like a neglected puppy. It doesn't take a genius to figure out why he's nowhere to be found in his own party. That's not the problem here. What pisses me off is how far his reach extends, how close he has creeped into the lives of the people I care about. Again, like a stubborn itch you couldn't get rid of. First, Professor Clark. Then there's Isabella. Oh, I also spotted Z-Man here a while ago, and now... Oh, there's also Rebecca. Apparently.
Ashton?
Becca, what are you doing here?
He looks so funny, shocked in his little image.
I was invited.
Really? I had no idea you were friends with the host.
That explains things, but makes this difficult all the same. If getting a contact among the staff to sneak a name into the guest list wasn't hard enough, the guy almost ditched me last night. I might have placed another set on my investigation if it wasn't for my genius tip. And here comes Rebecca, another person in mind.
Well, it's my parents, actually. But that's beside the point. What are you doing here? You hate parties.
I still do. I'm just here on behalf of a friend.
Unnecessary lie. I can't bring my own friends into any of this further than what they've found themselves in. Because if Luke Wright so much as harms the hair on either Zach or Rebecca's heads, they will be hell to pay. Worrying about Isabella's brief dealings with him is stressing in itself already. I doubt he'll attempt anything in front of other people, though. It would tarnish his glorious reputation, and he values appearances more than anything. That doesn't necessarily mean he isn't capable of it. More than, in fact, and on the off chance he does something, I wouldn't be responsible for my actions. Lower protective boy.
That's rare. Do you have someone with you then?
Nope, just me. I won't be staying long.
Oh, well, if that's the case, maybe you and I can.
For Zach and Rebecca's sakes, however, I really hope this simply be another housewarming. Even though something tells me that it's anything but. Follow the detective's intuition. I know. Look at her blushing. Look at her. Look at her. Ash, you are so fucking oblivious. When Luke Wright's involved, nothing good has ever come out of it. I can't lay my guard down here. Even more so when a familiar car shows it a stop and out comes...
Chief?
My presence here might be odd at best, but I have an excuse. One that this man handed to me himself a year ago, along with a heavy dose of flattery for the newly promoted detective inspector. I can't exactly say the same for my good old boss, can I? Although to see him here chatting it up with Luxmorn's rich and famous isn't much as a big surprise in itself. No disrespect meant, but the guy is obviously a social climber. What is surprising is the fact that he seems all too eager to mingle with a person of interest's wife. Just what the hell's he doing here?
Ashton, what's.
Sorry, Becca. I need to... There's something I need to check for a bit. I'll talk to you later. Do you have a ride home?
No, I had to take a cab here. My car wouldn't start this afternoon. But what about.
What the shit is going on here?
I told you to get that old thing checked before, didn't I? You can head back with me after this. Anyway, I gotta go. See ya. Be careful, okay?
Hey, be careful! About what exact.
I don't want to draw attention to myself either, at least not until he's given me proper reason to spoil his little party.
Thank you for the invite, Anna. Husband still missing, I see?
I should be saying the same of your darling Rochelle, Lee. The doctors again.
For now, the best I can do is wait and remain inconspicuous, especially with Chief here, whose motives are dubious at best. If it means having to pretend I don't know Zach and Rebecca or forcing myself to rub elbows with people I barely know, let alone like, then so be it. I can't involve anyone. Wandering is out of the question as well, when there are guards and civvies stationed here and there. Sure, getting past them is something I could do with ease, but I'd rather not right now, when I'm one of the few snooping and roaming about. It'd be best to try and do so once there's more of a crowd. And if their interior designers' drunken claims are to be believed...
Yes, well, what about Luke? Should we file a missing persons report now, or do you want to wait 24 hours?
He's around.
You know, I can tell if someone's bluffing.
One moment. Okay, I think we might be in the clear. It'll all come down to how well I'll play my cards tonight. With a good hand, this party is going to give me the breakthrough I need to crack Luke right, or something to prove my suspicions wrong. Nope, we're not still in clear, hold on. Some things have happened outside. Now I have to go shut my door again because it got opened. I hate my door. Be right back. Should only take like, I don't know, 5 seconds. If I can reach it. I'm now way too high alert. Okay. Let's just try to get back into the game, shall we? It's like, I should not be spooked right now. Okay. The good hand. This party is going to give me the breakthrough I need to crack Luke right, or something to prove my suspicions wrong. Maybe find out what kind of game my boss is also playing. I've had an inkling before, a few hunches tempered down to how much of a fool the man appears. But one does not simply deal with the rights and get invited to a party they host without wanting anything from either of the two. Or it's the other way around. So, with a last wary glance at the two, I head into the ballroom. I just hope this will not complicate things further. Well, it will, because his wife is being accused of, like, sleeping with Luke. Shit. By the time the party's in full swing and night has fallen, and yet there isn't a Luke right in sight. Men can be quite ostentatious. But this? Frankly, I'm impressed. I don't even know how many... I do not even know what that is. I want to say Hors d'Ivoire. D'Ivoire? Hors d'Ivoire? I apologize severely for not being able to pronounce it correctly. That drink looks very nice though. I've already stuffed my face with. One too many probably. The server's already giving me the stink eye every time I saunter over to the buffet table. Blame your employer, not me. He's the one who has the guts to show up late. Besides, most of the guests' idle talk is concentrated in the area. Despite standing under the same roof with the very people they're whispering about, some just couldn't resist. I might as well keep an ear out for any useful info.
Is Suarez still fixing that tech problem? Tech problem?
It's been 3 years. Sooner or later, the Blighter will put 2 and 2 together.
He might have already.
If the red tape I'm being slammed with these past few months suggests anything, that or someone has been pulling the strings, I wouldn't be shocked. This case could not have gone for this long if Scumbag didn't have a mule of some kind in the force.
Shush you, we all know Suarez just wants an out.
I knew he was bad news the day the merger with Evans Incorporated happened.
Feh. Glad I did not have to deal with that.
So many different accents here, I love it.
But keep it down, someone might hear. The wife especially.
This kind of negligence has always been an advantage, but sometimes I wish I could be smash drunk while doing this. Having sharp ears also means you get to hear the most unsavory things. Who cheated on who this week? One person's motive for bashing someone's skull against a wall, or a father's excuse for burning his own daughter alive. That's wild. After a few years, it gets tiring. You get desensitized to it. But humans can also be downright awful. Sometimes there simply isn't enough brain bleach in the world. Sadly, the wine is a no-go tonight, and mostly for show. I'm up for another drive later. For one, I definitely want to be sober in case anything comes up. And something always comes up on assignments like this. The detective expected dying of cardiac arrest, for example. Because I can feel the moment my heart grinds to a halt the second I shift my eyes to the corner of the ballroom.
Hana Wright.
Some will say I'm acting a touch bit paranoid, and maybe I am. This is a party and she's the hostess. It goes to say that she'd make some time to mingle with her guests. But Hana Wright Nee Evans isn't without her fair share of accolades. At least to the public, she doesn't seem like it. Unlike her husband, she's the one with the business sense, not to mention the impressive track record needed to manage a company, or effectively hide whatever irregularity there might be. She's clean, as far as my agents and I have found, but doesn't rule out a possible involvement with whatever her husband's up to. No, she's not. She doesn't know what the fuck her husband's doing. Hell, Luke Wright came out clean in previous reports until I bothered to take a deeper look into it. What I found may not be sufficient to bring anyone to trial yet, but it's enough to nurture suspicion. There may be a bit of an overreaction, but no one lasts long in my line of work by being careless.
You would catch his eye a lot better if you wore nicer clothes, don't you think?
Didn't realize the housewarming was going to be this fancy. I would have gone with a nice dress if I knew.
Nothing to be worried about there. They're talking about you! She's probably even more careful with appearances than her own husband, having grown up with the spotlight focused on her. Yet, even knowing that, the anxiety stays. It has been there since the party started. I've brushed it off earlier. Who wouldn't feel edgy, right? I've gone undercover in a party hosted by the very person I'm investigating. That, in itself, is risky and has plenty of rooms for error. Usually, though, the tension passes around the first half hour or so, and I've been trained to remain composed in situations like this. However, with each second I spend here, it only grows heavier and seeks to overwhelm. Not fear. Hello. An odd feeling that someone is watching me instead. Yeah. Fuck. Shush, ghost. Fucking Rebecca has got her eyes trained on you. That's been like this since last week. Oh, okay, no, this is the ghost. Okay. But I should already be used to this. People would be looking at me, no matter how small or big of a blip I am on their radar. That's what they do in these things. But when the feeling of eyes spreading into my back lingers longer than necessary, I've been looking around every now and then to catch the culprit. No, like, it's Rebecca! It's also the ghost, but it's also Rebecca! Despite my efforts to push the sensations as far down as I could, tiny pinprick continued to sting at the back of my head, and the ghost of a cold touch creeps up my limbs, until my gaze switches back to Rebecca and Hannah Wright. Hello. Oh, hello. And she stands there, dark-haired and dirty, sticking out like a sore thumb. Even so, no one seems to notice. Although she's looking away from me, her mere existence here strikes, disturbs. A sense of tunnel vision blinds, spines, while I stand stock still and gape at her, like my life depends on making sure she always stays where she is. I feel trapped in her presence, until another guest bumps into me, yanking me out of my stupor. Only then do I realize that I've been holding my breath. Before I can figure out what happened, she's gone. A quick scan of the room yields no sign of her. The party continues if nothing's amiss. I'm not really one to judge, but I'm sure someone like that would not have been allowed in a fancy thing like this. Well, it's because she's a ghost, my guy. What has the security been doing? Are they really that incompetent for someone so distinct to easily get in without notice? There should have been an outcry by now, particularly from the host. She's been standing almost an arm's length away from the woman, and yet she simply continues to talk with Rebecca.
Oh, the professor! And your little Becky!
My parents couldn't make it since they're in Scotland right now. And Mom says hi, by the way.
Is there something in the food then? I'm starting to see things. It could have been the wine, though. I'm very bad at sober as when I first stepped off from my car. Or the water? Well, why would anyone want to do that? Why would Luke Wright want to do that? He's fishy, but I couldn't see why he'd ever think it would be a good idea to lace the food he'd serve in his party with something like Chief Lee on his guest list to boot. He has been linked to narcotics trade, yes. However, that kind of tactic is below him, that much I could tell. Unless there's a mass murder waiting to happen here tonight, which I highly doubt, so...
What the fuck was that?
There's no time to look deeper into this even if I want to. Not with the mere telling silence comes upon the room and draws everybody's attention to the main doors of the ballroom.
About damn time.
Good evening, ladies and gents. Enjoying the party?
Look at this fucker being fucking fashionably late for his own fucking horse.
I hope I'm not too late in welcoming you all to the right mansion.
I've been tailing this guy for a while now. Before that, I heard stories from previous officers who've tackled this case, none of which were pleasant. Mind, I am not counting the incident with Professor Clark, yet pleasant isn't glossing over the gravity of it. What happened with Mr. Clark? While Wright's good at covering whatever shady stuff he's doing, he's shown to be a really rotten guy. At least that's the case when he thinks none of his peers are around to judge him. I've lost track of how many counts of verbal abuse and harassment cases the guy could be pinned with. Standing in the same room as him doesn't make me want to punch him any less. Actually, the urge is stronger, but protocols. Felt Ash. Felt so badly. I want to punt this man to the sun anyways. My case, first and foremost, my own opinion on the man shouldn't be at the head of my purpose here. If I wanted to put him in his place, it should be in a court, with all proper charges filed against him. And I'll only be able to do that once I gather enough evidence to pin this bastard down.
Welcome, one and all, to our humble abode.
I just noticed his name is Scumbag, I love that.
Tonight, if you have yet to find yourself in your roles, you are all ladies and lords of the court of your king and queen, if you would excuse my presumptuousness.
Ugh.
So, enjoy the feast that has been laid out for your senses as we only allowed the best to be served. Enjoy the rest of your night, everyone!
Suppressing my annoyance, I prepare away from the crowd. Amidst the cheers and claps, now's a good time to make any move. There's any to move. To find that something the McCarloch woman talked about. In the first place, I have no plans to actually shake hands with the slime ball himself. A fake smile is plastered on my face while I pretend to listen to one of the other guests gossiping about him. All while slowly inching out of the ballroom. Unfortunately, before I can get any further...
Are you feeling ill, Rochelle? Perhaps you need to sit down and...
Rich people only have two ways to resolve their mess. Either they quietly deal with it behind closed doors, or they create an even greater problem out of it and just blows up in everybody's faces one way. Fun.
No! Shut it, you munter! I ain't talking to you! I'm talking to this scumbag over here! You bloody bastard, standing there with your smarmy smile!
Not even a few seconds in, this is already proving itself to be a big public spectacle. Why spend money on a television to buy daytime soap operas? You could just go to one of these parties and see the action unfold in real life. You get free food too. Really, if I were an actual guest, I'd just make this as some sordid form of amusement.
Watch your tongue! You're on thin ice, Rochelle. Where's your husband? Who even invited you?
But I'm not a guest who's here for a good time. I need to focus on him, even though this whole sorry tale. So I wait, I listen, I observe. Interesting, isn't it though? That's the chief inspector's wife. That's all I'm getting! Oh, we get the talk though. We get the talk though, boys. Boys, get your popcorn. Get your popcorn. My Vamplings, get your popcorn. We're gonna... This better be a good fucking talk. This better be a good fucking talk. Morning after starts off quiet. Even the whole of Salemwell residence seems unusually still. The open hallway, when I step out, is devoid of tenants. No sounds coming from the other units either. It's almost as if something's brewing on the horizon. A peaceful night's sleep still does wonders for the mood. Though I can't even remember the last time I slept without anything urgent interrupting. It's a nice break from all the bad news lately. If it wasn't for the insistent buzzing in my pocket waking me up, I'd sleep in. The ring has stopped before I could move somewhere private, but sleep has also been effectively kicked out of my system by then. Pity, I could still use a little more rest until I have to face the other storm. Of course, I owe Rebecca an explanation. It doesn't matter if there's the whole truth of another hastily spun tale. I haven't really figured out how to go about this yet. Unlike Zack and Isabella, who don't usually ask questions and are content with what little I could share, Rebecca's rather quick on the trigger. It will have to be set aside for later, though. No!
Ash from City. Baggers, watch out. Can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not
It's got
lie.
fucking
I'm a cool
broken
dude.
things.
Pretty fly for an Asian guy.
I want them to have their talk, though. I'm upset.
City.
The chief's name stares back at me, almost if it's mocking me. Sad. It would have been nice just to chill after last night and maybe half listen to the news. Surely, it's the same thing we've been hearing lately. It still beats standing outside in the chilly Luxborn morning on the phone with my boss. Sighing, I answer it, if only to get this over with.
Where are you right now?
Now that's the tone I didn't expect from him at this hour. Just thinking how this will go already gives me a headache. Immediately, I reach up and pinch the bridge of my nose to stave it off.
This is why I won't ever drink myself senseless.
What was that?
Nothing, Chief. A pleasant morning to you too.
He's absolutely calling to rag on me or complain about his wife, which is really none of my business unless it affects my case, and it seems like the usual rich man cheats on wife deal. Although I would have followed up on it if it weren't for somebody else's wife. But figuring it's the chief's, hey, I trust him to come clean with if the missus is related to the right shady dealings. This is why I left before they even hauled the woman out last night. I'm not going to around investigating cheating husbands and wives. That's probably just that. The chief appears to have a different idea in mind, though.
There's nothing pleasant in the morning. Anyway, where are you? I told you millions of times before to keep your lines open.
I'm allowed to have a sleep in, Doc. I hit the wrong button. Hold on. I'm trying to... There we go. Okay. He did, and not only him. Zach, Rebecca, Isabella, all of them have said the same thing numerous times in the past. But I was undercover last night. A phone call is the last thing I want to happen when there are other things I need to focus on at the time. Besides, we have radios and work-issued phones. Why isn't he using those channels if this is urgent?
Just woke up, sir. As awesome as it is to hear your voice this morning, it really is early. If you could give me a few minutes just to wake myself up, that'd be swell.
No need for that. This won't take long.
Is something wrong? Am I needed at the precinct ASAP?
Oh no, everything's good over there. Just... Look, kid. Pray. Don't take this personally, alright? You're off the Luxborn firm case. Starting today.
Well, I did not expect to hear that either. This must be some kind of cosmic joke. I allow some awkward seconds to pass. Chief must be pulling another one of his awful pranks. Out of this bad mood or severe hangover, maybe. Everyone knows that when given the chance, he exercises no control with his drinking. If it wasn't for his wife causing a stir, he'd probably be thrashed an hour in at the party. He likely drank far more than they threw her out of the ballroom. Besides, his sense of humor has never been good. It's just infuriating most of the time. But when he doesn't follow it up. If I sound a tiny bit frustrated speaking on my own superior, I'm not the one to blame.
Wait, no. What? Are you kidding, Chief? Is this one of your practical jokes again? The temps won't say anything about it, but
It's not that. They're orders. From the higher-ups.
Ah, the higher-ups. Yes, my favorite word. Since when did the higher-ups ever cared about the criminal investigation department? As far as I can tell, they don't give a hoot if CID is filled with cold cases as long as we keep the spending low. And I need to view those old case files, though. They're locked away in the archives. You're gonna have to check with the higher-ups. I need access to those reports, see if the higher-ups will allow it. Every step, every move in this case, there isn't one that hasn't been gated by some authority. If it's not from the chief, it's from the commissioner. Or so they always tell me. Makes me wonder why they even bothered assigning it to anyone. Not a single one of them has done anything to help move the case. And they wonder why it has taken this long for even a hint of progress to show.
you can't just drop this on me. You can't just take me off like that.
Yes, I can. And I'm sorry, Ashton. You're a good detective. One of the best I've seen in years, but...
3 years, Chief. 3 years!
3 years since that anonymous tech leak blew up. Since Luke Wright's name was openly linked to several nasty dealings within Luxborn's corporate world, some of them involving deaths. 3 years! And I was only one who made it this far. Made much progress at officers with more experience and weren't even able to do when they handled this case. With just within a year, with barely any help from the damn brass at that. Of course, I'll be pissed.
Do you know what would have happened if I didn't work my ass off on this thing? If I didn't dedicate a whole year of my time on it, it would have gone cold. Like every fucking case Luke Wright has been linked to. I saved this from getting thrown into the archives, sir. I'm getting close. If you could just...
I'm fully aware of what you've done, Frey. But the Commissioner hasn't been happy with your progress. Still too slow by their standards.
Too slow? Well, what about those reports I filed? I've documented every freaking thing for them. I've given you every important lead I can gather. Isn't that enough?
They need results, not a bunch of research papers. Not one baseless assumption after another. Concrete proof, Frey. I'm really sorry. They've already made a decision. They're going to pass this on to someone who's been in the force longer. Someone who has more experience.
Someone who has more experience?
They meant nothing by it, but you're still too young to work on a case this big.
Chief, I've already done more than what those old farts ever did behind their desks. All of it, within just a year of being assigned to this.
The fact they're calling him too young is wild, considering the fact he's like 29. He's been in this like thing for like how long?
Watch your language, Frey. Those are your superiors,
I'm not some damn rookie fresh out of training. I'm as qualified as they are.
No, no, you're not. You're close though. So, I know it is. They'd never say it within my earshot, but from the very minute I stepped into their precinct, a lot of them had underestimated me. From their stares alone to the assignments I get. To them, I'm just a kid. Too young, too green, too inexperienced. And once they pull that card on me, every argument I have gets thrown out the window. No matter how logical it is, how much they've accomplished, or I've accomplished, what the record says, or the amount of work I put in every investigation they've thrown my way.
We're all aware of your skills, kid. You wouldn't have that badge and rank if you weren't good enough. However, this case is just not for you. Too high profile, too risky to put a good officer like you in harm's way.
Can he even hear himself? That reasoning is odd in itself. No one joins this line of work without knowing the dangers of it.
Don't I get a second chance? You said it yourself. I'm a good detective. It'll just be a matter of time before we can close this.
It doesn't matter what I think, Frey. You're off the case, and that's final. I expect all related files and documents on my desk by Monday morning. And don't even try to go touch anything. I know how hard-headed and determined you are.
Chief, please. A few more weeks. I'll have the proper evidence left on your desk by then. I swear it won't take longer than that.
Afraid it's too late, boy. I've already informed the other officers. You aren't to be allowed access until you've been given a new assignment. Hell, just keep out of the precinct, Frey. Take the weekend off.
Seriously, Chief, is this about last night? If this is about me being at that party, I have a good reason for—
You were at the party.
It makes me pause. His very tone, the sudden careful note in his voice. Slowly, a frown forms in my face. My eyebrows knitting together in confusion. Much as I hate to say this about my own boss, but there's also suspicion in it. Hard not to think of it that way, seeing how he acted around Hana last night. Is he worried? Why should he be? Everyone who's anyone was invited. I didn't doubt for a second why he received an invite, even if his presence was questionable. There's something wrong, and I've unintentionally walked into it. All I have is a sneaking suspicion. But when one looks at this from a different angle, put everything together. Either how I've been taken off the case might be for the same reason he was there in the first place.
Yes, Chief, I was. For a good reason. What were you doing there? I know we don't have a strict rule against attending functions, but that was—
He coughs, and it almost sounds like he's choking on his own excuses. Lies? I don't even want to accuse him of anything yet. He's someone I've respected since I joined LPD, even with his bizarre sense of humor and tendency to procrastinate. He's obviously competent enough to get the job done. He wouldn't be Chief Inspector of Luxbourne Police if he wasn't. He wouldn't last years in service without some track of record backing him. Unless it too is a fluke. And what's backing him is not something, but someone. Oh shit. Fucking hell, fucking shit.
Chief Harvey, about last night with the—
Why does it matter, Frey? This isn't about that.
Why does it matter? Why does it matter? I'll recite the whole damn oath I've taken upon being sworn into service if I can, but at this point it seems too late to remind him of that. He was probably already moved from serving and protecting people to serving and protecting his own interests. Damn it. I've suspected the other brass for this. The lower ranked subordinates in the force, but my own boss? Shit. No wonder that link didn't link anywhere. Someone closer might have been pulling the strings. I might have set up that fail long before the fucking case had been assigned to me. But I don't want to give this up. I don't want to believe I've wasted an entire year for this. I don't want this to be the kind of news to tell Professor Clark after all those promises I've given the man.
I just want to know, sir, at the party, with Luke and Hannah Wright, you were...
Monday, Detective Inspector. First thing in the morning. Every copy of the files you have, I want to see it all on my table. Understood?
This isn't...
Frey, am I understood?
What else can I do other than smile with my own superior? Expecting an answer using that tone, brushing my questions off as easy as discarding a dead body.
Yes. Yes, sir.
He cuts a line as soon as the words are out. You're off the case, Frey, just like that. Funny, why is it still caught me off guard? I've discovered years ago how different the actual thing is. How far from reality everything I've believed in as a dreamy-eyed kid. There are no high-speed pursuits every day, no thrilling gunfights or exciting cases every step of the way. Only paperwork, lots of red tape, and dealing with the politics of bureaucracy. I've set out to change things, hoping it'll make things better for the people I care about. It ended up changing me instead. Serves me right for being too idealistic, I guess. This is probably the universe telling me that it's better to remain the skeptic I really am. Now here I am, standing useless. Can't even do anything but grit my teeth and kick the wall. The bastard didn't even acknowledge my response.
What did the poor wall ever do to you?
He figures Rebecca would be the one to find me in this embarrassing state. Honestly, I don't like it when she sees me like this, which seems to happen a lot regardless of what I want.
Rebecca, now's not a good time.
The concern I expect from her when I turn isn't there, however. Instead, she just looks, well, the storm I left brewing last night, it's right there on her face, ready to be unleashed.
When is it ever a good time for you? You're always so busy with everything now. Now I find you here, sneaking out without even bothering with a proper goodbye. Not even a word. Really, I'm starting to think you're just keeping me around for my couch and my cooking.
Oof. Oof, that's a low blow.
Becca, it's not what you're thinking. I wasn't planning on sneaking out. I was going to say goodbye. I just had to take this call. Although I'm not gonna lie, couch is great. 10 out of 10. Would sleep again.
Stop it with the jokes, Ashton. I'm not in the mood.
Her bitterness is not lost on me. But at this point, our friendship and our lives, how does she still expect me to answer that? What am I supposed to tell her now?
Are you still mad about last night?
She merely raises an eyebrow at me, which, to be honest, is the response I need. Seeing her like this makes me believe those things E-Man says about Rebecca scares him, sometimes. I've certainly seen this more than once already, but the familiarity of it doesn't really take away from the downhill turn this conversation's starting to take. My uncle cough serves as a way to stall.
Okay, of course you're still mad. But whatever happened last night, I really am sorry. I'll apologize as many times as you want.
But then that doesn't mean like you mean it.
If you want, I'd even kneel or something.
Okay, that would be funny though.
Ashton, an apology is nice and all, but that's not what I wanted to hear from you today.
Alright, fine, okay. Where do you want to start?
Oh, I don't know. I've honestly lost track of it by your third trip to the buffet table.
I wasn't... The drive up there took a bit. Can you blame me if I wanted to grab some appetizers?
Oh, come on, Ash! For the whole evening? For the whole party? Please don't tell me that's all you did, because I've never known you as someone who pigs out. You even took great lengths to avoid me. Should I also mention how you ignored Zach? Sometimes I get the feeling you don't want to be seen with us in public. Some friendship, huh?
Oof. Rip into him, Becca.
You know it's not like that. It's never going to be like that, Becca.
I'll ask this again. Just what were you up to during the party?
Oh. Oh.
What were you doing that you couldn't even take 2 seconds to make time for your friends?
I couldn't even look in the eye. It wasn't that I wanted to avoid them. I did it to keep Jack safe. To keep Rebecca safe. Just in case. Client or family friend, it was still a party hosted by the person of interest, by a man accused years ago of murdering a person's wife to get what he wanted. But then Chief showed up, Hannah Wright happened, and Luke Wright just can't be bothered to die peacefully somewhere. all of a sudden none of my original reasons mattered. If I was found out right then and there, hell, if Zach and Rebecca's connection with me was found out, who knows what might have happened. But Rebecca doesn't understand that, doesn't understand what I can and can't say to keep them from harm. It's all in her eyes, and the tight line of her lips and her furrowed brows. The hurt. This day is just off to a wonderful start. First, my case. Now, Becca. Alright, boys. Alright, boys. Can people stop messaging me while I'm live? Come on, please. 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 What do you guys want? Hold on. Go away. Who's yelling at me? Go away. I muted it. Why did that not work? The fuck? What the fuck? I muted and yet... So, that was the server announcement. Yeah, I fucking muted the server. How dare it? How dare it? Anyway. I'm just adjusting positions. Okay. Again. We need to, you know, actually fix our relationship with Becca. Along with, you know, we're trying to make things better in general. So, what is she at right now? She is at default, okay. I wouldn't insist it's confidential. Stretching the truth, maybe. I think, like, there was a person of interest, it could have gone my job. Like, it affected you, I couldn't. Alright, we're gonna pick Stretch the Truth. That's not the right one, we're just going right back. Nope. 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 Insists it's confidential.
It's confidential, Rebecca.
There we go. I wonder how many times I've told her that. Not just her, my dad, my mom, Zach, and even Isabella. How many times have I told them that essentially boiled down to mind your own business to make sure they're all safe, to keep them out of danger? My job isn't a game. It isn't as glamorous as the television portrays it to be. I thought so too, as a child. I was so clueless back then, wasn't I? But boy, did I learn. The good guys don't always win, justice isn't always served, investigation is not looking at a crime scene once you get a eureka moment. It's sleepless nights at the crime lab with the tech guys. It's several days wearing the same clothes with Chinese takeout stains because I'm staking out a place. It's frustration when bureaucracy hinders you from looking up into a case any further, or when you know the suspect is guilty but they get away scot-free on a technicality. It's seeing anger and pain and despair with every case.
I know you have a mountain of questions, but I've told you this so many times before. I can't say much more than that.
It's the look on Rebecca's face, the resentment and the pain. It hurts me as well, to think that I am the cause of that. It's a familiar one too. Something I've been seeing a lot over the years. I wonder how long it'll take before Zach starts giving me the same one. Or until I've hurt Isabella in a way that any sincere apology won't ever be enough. What a mess. I'm a mess, and it's the people close to me who have to suffer through it.
I guess, if that's the case, there's nothing much I can do about it. You're off being a hero, I guess? And I shouldn't rag on you for that.
I can rag on him for just being a douche. I could never get used to how quick she just forgives me with whatever shitty thing I do. Zach and Isabella too, they've all been patient with me, unlike I with them. I don't deserve any of them to be the kind of person I've turned out to be.
I'm hardly a hero, Becca. I'm just Ash.
I expect a retort, another one laced with bitterness. Said she laughs. Because she loves you. My guy, if you killed someone, she probably would forgive you if you had a good reason. I'm gonna be so real. Half-hearted and barely a hint of cheer in it, but it's a laugh nevertheless. I honestly don't know what to make of that. What to do with myself upon hearing it. It's almost like the mere sound of it is meant to pierce.
The least you could have done is tell me. Maybe I could have helped. Kept an ear and an eye out for you. I don't know. I could have been Irene Adler, maybe?
Her smile doesn't quite reach her eyes, but the mask. She tries so hard for me. I give her a smile of my own, though I imagine it comes off as unenthusiastic as hers. It's far easier to slip back into banter when it's like this, just to brush off everything. At least this way we wouldn't have to deal with awful things.
The woman? Don't flatter yourself. Nancy Blue, more like.
Her sidekick would beg to differ, Ashit.
I couldn't stop a wry grin from forming on my lips. She probably still has the photo from that contest. Keeps it in her old diary. I never did find either of the two after I threatened to burn them. In the end, I just never brought it up again, hoping she'd just forget about the whole thing. But the small smile on her face is a lot. Those were good times. A lot simpler. A lot more peaceful. Now things have changed. We're no longer the same people we were as kids. Growing up together doesn't mean it always has to be just the two of us in the first place. It's a dumb notion to believe in when nothing ever remains constant. Things will inevitably change throughout the years. In fact, it already has, long ago. Just not with the people we allowed into our respective lives, but also with us, as people, as friends. It really doesn't get complicated if we get old. It really does get complicated as we get older, doesn't it? It's true. Not everything has to be, though. Even if it's just in the form of a promise, and I have no idea when I'll be able to fulfill.
I swear, I'll explain when it's all over.
Silence afterwards brings an even heavier air between us. Something that Rebecca thankfully doesn't allow to linger more than necessary.
I suppose you have to go now, huh?
The situation's already awkward as it is. Dragging this out will make it even more... what? Difficult? Messed up? If it isn't already.
Back to your case again?
I don't really have to. No, I have no case. As far as the job is concerned, I have all the weekend off until I have to report to the chief on Monday. Although I don't want to just throw in the towel on this. Orders are orders. This isn't like the movies. I don't really get to say fuck off, throw my gun and badge at them, become some vigilante, save the day, and get my job back. I'd rather get my ass thrown in jail than do any of that. That's also not in my nature to sit still and do nothing. That'd drive me crazy if I just idle about. Besides, it's someone who has to know about this whole Luke Wright thing.
Yeah, I need to go talk to Professor Clark. And there's something else I need to look into.
That other matter she mentioned last night specifically. Things even the news have been blasting about in general populace lately. Evening, afternoon, morning, all deaths the same modus, blamed on a single serial killer. Or is it still the case?
Found dead in the early hours of the morning today. The fire was contained in the room and no other tenants were harmed, according to Luxbourne police.
Grasping at straws as far as these murders are concerned. In the first place, I'm not the one heading this investigation. Yet look at me treating it as if it's another high-profile case on my shoulder. How sad is that? Although all three of my friends have mentioned seeing something strange, I don't want to go into that line of thinking for now. Not yet. Not until I've exhausted every logical argument I could throw at it. Bro, you saw her! You saw her last night! Bruh. To be honest though, I don't know what to make of all this anymore. But I've already given Isabella my word. It'll bother me more if I didn't follow up on a promise I made to her. And after Rebecca's claims last night, there won't be enough sarcasm in the world if what my friends have been telling me is true. I can only hear Isabella's laughter, in fact.
Figures. What else can it be?
It's not another case. It's something else. That issue Isabella mentioned yesterday morning. I'm sure you remember. You were there.
Well, at least you're not neglecting all your friends.
Becca, I promised her I'll...
She doesn't wait for me to finish. With a roll of her eyes, she turns around and shuts the door in my face. I have no idea what I said this time, but...
I probably deserve that.
You do. You do. We'll just have to fix this another time. By then her temper should have cooled off significantly. Hopefully. Hopefully. She's not that kind of girl, you know that. But no, I just can't laze around. I gotta attend things that matter more. Ooh. Becca matters more than this. I'm gonna be so real with you, Chief. Professor Clark first delivered the bad news, and then that issue with the BRC and Isabella. Maybe I'll also drop by Zach's, check in on him, hear what he has to say. He also has read that damn letter. I might as well if, while I'm here, playing a, I don't know, paranormal detective, or was it supernatural? I can't remember. Whatever. It wouldn't hurt anyone if I tried to get to the bottom of this. If nothing comes of this good, everyone can shut up with stupid curses and we can finally get back on track with our lives. On to the more important stuff. If there is something.
Are you two done?
Isabella! There's a moment of confusion when I don't see her familiar ponytail out, only to find her standing behind the door of the apartment seconds later. Isabella holds it open, although only slightly, as if to hide from anyone who might happen to pass by. This early on in this lazy weekend, I doubt anyone would. But from the gap and what little light there is behind her, I could just make out the appearance of someone who has already clearly just gotten out of bed. Hair in complete disarray, eyes still heavy with sleep, and with the smaller pout on her lips, she hasn't even gotten out of her pajamas. I look way long before my senses of decorum kicks in. We might be friends. I'll even just say we've grown closer over the years, but that doesn't extend this beyond bounds of proper propriety. Right, Stephen Rebecca never greets early visitors within her sleep clothes. Though maybe it's our fault why she's up this early. Still, the heat makes a slow crawl up my neck. Well, then I quickly downplay the solid cough.
Isabella, you're up early.
No, I'm not. I'm usually up at this hour. You're the one that usually sucks at getting up early.
Says the person who looks like she's just fallen out of bed.
Instead of the usual quip, she simply averts her gaze to some point beside her, and although she only flashes briefly across her face, an expression of hurt flickers in her eyes. It disappears the second she turns her attention back to me, but the moment she sent a worried twinge in my stomach. I've seen it on her plenty of times before, just never in a manner that unsettles. It feels, I don't know, off this time. I didn't say anything wrong, did I?
Hey, are you...
Anyway, was that Becca with you? You both sound like Mama and Papa when they fight. You're awfully loud. If we get another memo from the landlady, I'm asking the guard to ban you from ever entering this place.
Me? Becca's the one almost shouting.
Yeah, well, she lives here. You don't. You have no excuse. You're the suspicious-looking person.
Thanks. Glad at least one person appreciates how I pretty up this place.
Wow.
Don't flatter yourself. This place would be so much better without having to see your face every few days.
Oof. She follows it up with another pout. But her ruffled appearance, particularly how puffy her eyes are, I notice that now takes away from the intimidating effect she's trying to show. Really, right now she just looks more like an angry puppy. I might have laughed had it not given me another nagging sense of something is definitely wrong with her. What, has she been crying earlier? Well, that's worrying. She rarely does that. Only time that happened was the one time I've ever seen her genuinely tear up over something. It was after Devlin called the night at the bridge. I want to ask. She seems determined to keep it to herself, though.
Belle, did something...
About yesterday, Ash. The things we talked about. Do you think we can take a look at it today?
We? I never said you're coming with me. Don't worry, I didn't forget about it. You'll be the first to know if I find anything.
No, I want to go with you. I'll be ready in a few. This won't take long.
Isabella, you really don't have to. I can handle it on my own. You'll just...
I won't get in the way, I promise. Besides, maybe I can help.
Aww.
You know, if there are files you want to check.
I don't like what she's implying. It's true, LPD's having a hard time with this, but taking Isabella with me, it's out of the question. Under normal circumstances.
You're the one who's going to get in trouble if you do that.
You said it yourself. You need information, and I can help you get that. And it's not like it matters anymore. I just don't want to stand around doing nothing today.
There it is again. The slight shift in her eyes, the mild crease forming between her eyebrows, and the mild slump in her shoulders while she crosses her arms tightly around herself. Like she's shielding herself from whatever painful things there is out there. I have plenty of reasons why I shouldn't let her drag along. First and foremost, she's a civilian. Second, I have no concrete plan of action yet. I'm going into this blind. No matter how I look at it. It's simply better for her to just wait, and so she won't get dragged. Yawn. Jesus. Okay. Just so she won't get dragged into what might be another one of my failures. Her assumptions might be a dead end for all we know. But seeing that expression on her, hearing her speak those words out loud in a desperate, almost pleading tone, I can't bring myself to say no. So I give in, because right there, I see myself in her. The person who doesn't want to stay idle, who doesn't want to think of the problems haunting him.
All right, 5 minutes.
What? You're timing me?
Well, I can't wait forever. I'm a very busy guy. 4 minutes and 45 seconds, Isabella.
I hate you so much. I'm taking back what I said last week. You haven't changed at all.
4 minutes and 30 seconds, 29, 28. I'd hurry if I were you.
They're so dumb. I hate them.
Ugh, you're awful. I hope you never get a girlfriend.
He slams the door right after, although my chuckles, the mirth, and the lightness of it linger. With her, there's a voice coming easy somehow. Even as it echoes fade, only the ghost of the smile remains.
It's not like I'm looking for anyone else.
Ew. Ew, straight people. Yeah, there we go. I want to tell her. It's not because I can't. I won't. I'm the one who has chosen not to until I fixed myself, until I found myself underneath all that guilt and all those lies I've been telling all these years. Because no matter how heavy the weight of these feelings are, I'm not yet worthy of them. Of her. Until then, little words and gestures are the only things I can offer. Minor stuff, such as digging deeper into this thing with BRC in order to ease her worries. I'm not even sure if this will give us anything. Unlike with the firm case, which I already have proper leads on. I'm just going by her word on this. Speaking of Luxborn firm case, I still have to inform the professor. The apprehension's there for sure. I've made a lot of promises to the man, and I would have preferred to tell him in person, not over the phone. That's better for him to hear it from me rather than from a stranger. The railings offer a steady support while I wait for him to answer. I'd like to think I can do this without losing my nerve. My grip on the bars surely tightens though once the call connects.
Not running today, Professor?
Usually at the park on late Saturday mornings, as long as it isn't raining cats and dogs. Keeps him young and healthy, he says. He's certainly fit for a man with his age and a century job.
No, not today.
He's definitely at the usual place, though. Tears and laughter, likely from the children and families, filtered the receiver. I tend to avoid the park precisely because of this. No use in reminding myself of what could have and what's when it's already over. Oof. Mom's doing well with the career. Dad's also fine last time I visited, although neither remarried, but they're both content with their lives as is. I'm probably the one still caught up with it, hence my aversion. But you can't avoid your problems like that. But all in all, it's still a pleasant sight to see if you're the kind who takes joy in such sights like Professor Clark does.
Just thought I'd enjoy the nice weather before it takes a turn for the norm again. Not to what do I owe the pleasure?
The guy certainly seems happy right now in any case. I almost don't want to break the news to him. But it's better to get this off quick as long as he doesn't shoot the messenger. He's not the type. However, long-held resentment can change a person, even someone as mild-mannered as the professor.
I was hoping to talk to you about the case.
I suppose I'm just the downer today. As soon as I say those words, he pauses and the lightness in his voice is gone in an instant. Every time we've talked about this in the past, he does that. He's probably trying to gauge the situation based on the tone of my voice. Perhaps it's a good thing I'm delivering this news through the phone. Who knows what he'll see in my face and my mannerisms. The art of keen observation, I learned it from the man. He probably already has an idea of what this might be about from the manner of speaking alone.
You aren't in trouble, are you?
For a second, I hesitate, looking at the dirt beneath my shoes. But I manage eventually. After a long, ragged draw of breath, I pick up where I left off, though still fumbling with my words.
Well, I'm in a bit of trouble, if you can call it that.
Ashton.
He only assumes that tone when there's a remand at his heels.
But I'm not in danger or anything.
You've said that same excuse a million times before, Detective Inspector. That exhausted rasp in your voice tells a different story.
It's nothing like what you're thinking. Don't worry. I was taken off the Luxborn firm case.
I expect anger, frustration, maybe even disappointment. But all it gives me is a small sigh of relief.
Is that so? Well, at least you aren't in danger. Liz wouldn't be too happy if she heard you right now.
Liz, Aunt Liz, she insisted I call her, his late wife. A sweet-tempered woman by so many standards. They were never blessed with kids and contented herself with simply managing the bakery. But she's the closest I had to a mom in the few years I had known her, the professor too. In the absence of my own parents in my life, the two filled the ache their divorce left in me.
Believe me, you'd get an earful. You don't want to show up at her doorstep looking like you haven't slept a wink either.
How many years has it been since? 9? 10? I still can't remember it. I still can remember it vividly. Two men, primly dressed, briefcases in hand, and a stern look on each other's faces. They were already frequent visitors of the bakery for the few months, something about the lot being in prime property of downtown Luxbourne. I think they were hoping to settle the deal with them, but neither of the couple gave in to the demands. Why should they? That quaint little shop was a dream for them. Aunt Liz sent me home early that night after the fruitless wait for the professor. The next morning, the news of the bakery raised the ground it spent across the whole city. One casualty. A few weeks later, the property was sold to Wright Enterprise. A fucking hotel now stands in its place. Of course, an investigation was launched after the incident. The name Luke Wright was briefly at the center of it. Yeah, now everything's making sense. With the lack of any actual evidence, the case ultimately went cold. The professor hides it well, however, I can tell he hates the man to this day. He might even blame Luke Wright for every tragedy that happens in the city. He has never blamed me, though, when I'm as equally responsible. I knew something's off the moment those men stepped inside the shop. I could have saved her that night. I could have prevented anything from happening to her, called for help or whatever. I didn't. And so it continues to eat me until today. The guilt. It's too much talking! I don't have the proper fucking voice for this. Hold on. I must... Oh, I am leaking condensation everywhere. Hold on. This drink is just droopy. Hold on a bit. Okay. There was so much condensation on that can. Holy fuck. Okay. Luxbourne firm case would have been our chance of reopening that old case if we could prove Luke right of his crimes. Instead, we're back to square one. Yet all he has for me are words of comfort. To think he could still be this concerned about me after my carelessness, after I'd broken another promise a second time. People never cease to amaze me.
You might think that you have failed as an officer. Or maybe you think that you have failed me. And you know more than anyone. I would love to see that man taken down. If anyone deserves to be tried in high court, it's him. But I'm glad nothing's happened to you while you were working on this. That's what's most important. I'd hate to get news like that again.
Oh, yeah, no, that would hurt. Suddenly he stops. I imagine a thoughtful look flashing in his eyes as he thumbs the wedding band on his ring finger before he continues. Another habit. He has never removed it since that day. He has never thought once to remarry, even when he managed to continue with his life and return to some semblance of normalcy. I can read. It's his way of honoring her, I suppose, when he couldn't bring to justice the man responsible for his loss. Some people are just hard to forget.
It's not like another death. Yours or even his will bring back my wife.
Ow, okay. I'm good. Silence falls between us afterwards. I don't quite know what to say after that, really. Should I apologize? Show some sympathy? Going into this, I should have thought of something other than just breaking the news to him. As it is, it seems the only thing we can do is feel sorry for each other's misfortunes.
I apologize too for putting you up to this.
In another occasion, under different circumstances, I might have accepted that, but...
You didn't have to, but you've already done more than any officer who has investigated this. So don't worry about this, old man. I know your department's people all have their hands full recently too. What with the upsetting news we've been getting as of late. Deaths almost every day. I'm not entirely sure if that has anything to do with the other. It seems
Not intentionally. In this case, it's not intentionally. He just so happens to be tied with the house. It's just the fact he bought it. That's it. Like, he's tied in, but not deliberately doing this. He's not deliberately causing the deaths. It's the ghost that's doing it.
Professor, please.
Maybe if things around me hadn't started going beyond my control, the letter, the mansion, the supposed curse behind those, I'd still be quick to blame all the bastard too. But as much as I want to keep holding him responsible for it to add another to his list of sins, it might not be the case. Agreeing will only cut a deeper wound from the professor. I don't want him to keep clinging on to his resentment for much longer. He has already gone through so many years of it. This kind of anger is the sort that blinds people. Despite his reassurances, the bitterness still seeps into every syllable he utters. It's one thing for me to act like this. It's painful to watch someone I've considered a second father to go down this path.
Please don't apologize. It's really all right. I can try to get it back on Monday when I meet with the chief. No promises, but if not, I'll make sure to keep an ear out for any news. Chief said he's passing it on to a senior officer. I should be able to catch a few tidbits every once in a while. But I swear I won't just give up on this. I'll do everything in my power to get Aunt Liz's case reopened for you.
Promises again a bad habit at this point. Anything, I wish I could do more for him. All this time, I've prided myself on being the one to always know. Because suddenly, aside from Wright and the murders plaguing the city, I have ghosts and curses to worry about, things that are completely out of my depth. You know, we said 5 minutes, right? Professor Clark's right in some way. Things could be so much easier if we just blamed Luke Wright for all of this. Unfortunately, that's not how it works. At least finding evidence would be a breeze if I'd be all too happy to put him in a place he belongs. Although if he was, in any way, also complicit to what's happening, legalities have my hands tied. But maybe that's my fault. I might have missed the ticket to closing the case once and for all last night. If only I had done a better job during the party. But then, the commotion. There was Hannah, Wright, and Rebecca distracting me from my purpose, too. I'd include the gate crasher as well, even if only for a moment. So many things have gone wrong last night that...
This isn't a prank! I saw something! See? This is why I didn't want to tell you guys. It's not a joke! Will you guys listen to me first? I saw something in the house earlier. It stood right in front of me. If I hadn't gotten away, that thing might have...
Last night. At the party.
But it's real! What do you think I saw? It happened after, when I was trying to get away. I almost got stuck in the same room with that thing. We're all in danger. I thought you were my friends. Why don't you believe me?
That woman.
Why don't we all calm down first? I'm sure Isabella has her reasons too. No need to be hard on her.
Shit. If that was what Isabella had been warning us about, if that was the same thing Rebecca talked about last night, how many of these instances have I dismissed since reading the letter? How many have I ignored and passed off as some effects of fatigue or lack of sleep? Even last night, a hallucinogen lacing the food is the first thing I considered, purely because that's what my training dictates. It's a mindset I've grown used to. It's just setting the gears my head automatically makes a situation like that. Of course, I'm not discounting all of that yet until I have enough information, something to form a conclusion from. Proof, and whatever for it may come. But thinking straight is impossible when all of a sudden all your beliefs are being upturned in the most violent way possible at that. Jesus, I need something broad. I need something broad. I need a sounding board. There, I can read. Jesus, I need a sounding board. I need to talk to someone, and Zach's the best person for that.
I have to go, Professor.
I don't have time to stop and listen to what the professor has to say as I cut the call short. The same second, Isabella emerges from her apartment, fully dressed and ready for the day. As usual, she greets me with a smile, but it falls just flat when she catches a glimpse of my face. Shame. That would have been the first comforting thing I see today. It annoys me that I'm partially responsible for the warrior one replacing it. I must look close to a picture of someone choking or dying, because that's nothing to consider. the first 2 words she speaks.
Ash, are you... Do you need to go to the bathroom?
Yeah, no, I don't, okay? But we should hurry. Come on, don't forget to lock your door.
Seriously, you look like you're about to fall over. Are you alright? Because if you're planning to faint right here, I won't be able to carry you.
Yes, don't mind me. I just remembered some stuff from last night. I need to talk to Z-Man about this. Mind if we drop by his place first?
Shouldn't we call him? To let him know? It's still pretty early, though we'd probably arrive there around noon. Also, what do you mean about this? Is Zach?
He was also there when I opened the letter, right? He read it too. I'm sure he's fine, but it wouldn't hurt to check on him. To make sure. See if he'll say the same things you told me yesterday.
If he's also been seeing things, if it's also the same woman I saw last night.
I'm not saying there's really a curse yet, but we have to look at this from every possible angle. And don't worry, he won't mind. He's probably just watching TV right now. Let's go.
Okay, but speak up if you're not feeling well. You really look like you're choking on something.
Yeah, no, he's choking on his beliefs being shoved down his throat. It's fine.
You didn't have to do this for me in the first place.
He does because he's love shock. It's fine.
You know it's not as simple as that.
We head down to my car in record time, with not a single second wasted to hit the road and drive to Zach's place. If anyone of us, other than Isabella, who knows anything about what's going on, who can find a sort of muddled mess my mind is, it's gotta be him. He listened to her. Zach's the kind who prefers to laze around his apartment on a weekend, especially after having a busy week like the last one. The guy's nowhere in sight though when I arrive in his unit. Figures people don't seem to be where they should be when I need them. Looking around, I find no sign where he might have gone to. He usually leaves a note in the fridge if he's out for the day in case someone drops by. As there isn't one, he probably just went off for a quick walk, I hope. Maybe he ran out of eggs or something, went by to buy some. He is out of eggs after all. This man just opened up his fridge and just like, yep, he's out of eggs. Yep. That's my running mind to rest for a while. He always has to have some, be it for an omelet or something he's baking.
Ash, should you be rummaging around? It's bad enough we went in here without asking for his permission.
Z-Man's used to it, unfortunately.
Chill, I'm just looking.
Actually, I could go for a fucking pie right now, but Zach's fridge is next to empty, save for a few leftovers. All I can do is sigh and close it behind me.
If you see me take anything, feel free to call the police.
Isabella's quick to shoot me a sharp glare, and another chuckle slips from me despite the unease in my stomach. But the cheer only lasted me a few seconds, mostly because she hasn't been in the sort of mood for any of that kind of friendly banter. It's the silence that's telling. And to quiet Isabella? It's usually the first recipe of an incoming shitstorm.
You always do this whenever you visit another person's house. Because I have a lot of questions about your methods.
Just with Zach.
I'm still worried for our friend, of course, and despite what's bothering Isabella, she's anxious too. She's been standing by the doorway for a few good minutes now since we entered Zach's place. In fact, doesn't seem to know what to do with herself. As much as I want to put her at ease, her nervous tics are starting to get to me. In the manner in which she makes herself smaller, the way she faces with her hands, clasping them one moment and then unfurling the next. It's distracting enough that I want to ask what's wrong. I doubt she'll give me a straight answer, though. The best I can do is help her temper it.
You don't have to hang around the door. You might be here for a while. You can sit down.
She hesitates for a second, but eventually takes the empty seat by Zach's study table.
Aren't we going to look for him?
Sure, we can, but where are we going to start? I can think of a few places he might be, but Luxburn's a big city. I don't want to miss the big guy if we leave, and...
I trail off, making a vague gesture at the general direction of Zach's bed. It's messy where it suggests he was out in a hurry and he didn't even bother to fold the sheets, and there's his phone. His cell phone's been left behind as well, another odd thing when he has made a habit to never leave behind in case a client calls.
At least the locked door points to the fact that it wasn't a forced exit.
That seems to reassure her, but not as much. Understandable, anything might happen. In hindsight, I shouldn't have left Rebecca alone either. We'll have to check on her later. In the meantime, Zach. But with no other clue where he is and no other way to contact him, we have no choice but to wait. Sure, I could give the room another thorough run through, but I don't think Zach would appreciate me upending his place. Isabella won't let me do that either. Besides, I haven't eaten anything yet. Isabella probably hasn't too. We did leave in a hurry. Might as well make this chance to cool down a bit, right? Anything to distract myself so that I don't just charge headfirst because of whatever paranoid scheme that comes to mind. Isabella is with me. I can't be reckless. Turning to the kitchen, the first thing I see is a bag of chips when I rifle through his cupboards. Not the chips! Ash! You asshole! Don't take the man's chips! After muttering a permission and apologies, so here I grab it. Isabella doesn't miss shooting me another glare, but she doesn't really make an effort to stop me this time. She ignores my offer of food, though. Instead, I sit myself on Zach's old couch and turn on the television. Isabella's silence may be too heavy. I'm sure as hell it's awkward. The screen lights up and some awful noontime drama starts airing on the channel 9. Nothing like sitting in front of the TV with a mindless drone running in the background to waste away the time. And waste it away we do. The afternoon has hit the last few hours and the movement comes from the other side of the door and Zach's heavy treads break the monotonous drivel from the TV. The door clicks, the knob turns and slowly it swings open to reveal very exhausted looking Zach. What? Did he run a marathon?
Sup, Z-Man?
Hey, Zach. Sorry we just barged in here. Ash was...
Relax. Z-Man gave me a copy of the key himself.
As my turn might be, his arrival eases the restless edge in me. Who knows what I would have done if something bad happened to one of my friends. If another minute had gone without him showing up, I might have resorted to unconventional methods.
Only after you broke the 13th one? I can't keep replacing them every time you think it'd be a good idea to break into my apartment. And stop calling me Z-Man!
I didn't break anything this time.
Ash, just because I gave you a key doesn't mean you can just stroll in here whenever you want to. And hey, is that my...
Care how the friendly banter needs his smile come naturally. I do it, even without thinking, and speaks volumes about how comfortable I am around him. That's nice, isn't it? What makes me afraid of it, however, is the idea that the time might come where I might just do these things that even mean to offend him in some way. I think he's ascended, man. The friendship we might have might be closer than the most I've shared with the others, but there are boundaries you can't cross without another's permission. Yeah, we're breaking it right now. Zach's been respectful of that so far. Neither asking about my parents or what happened to them. Me, I bet he'd just say not so much. It's also this easy banter when he makes me wish we could just stay like this. No worries, no problem. It's just potato chips in the debate of whether or not I deserve them. But as usual, something always cuts moments like this short.
Of course he eats all of it. You know, I was saving that for the weekend. Did you at least share some with Bella?
Don't worry about it. I'm good, Zach.
Really? It's free food, you know? What was that you usually say? You don't say no to free food? What happened?
No, I'm just not hungry.
Although her tone forces a double take, Zach doesn't push it. Oh, pardon me. Thank you, Sari. I need to quickly take a drink because I just choked on my own spit there. Hold on. Alright, we might have a good 10 minutes before I start choking. The question's all too clear in his eyes when he glances my way, though. I really wish I could answer him. Despite my best efforts, Isabella has been unforthcoming as well. What am I supposed to do? I can't just force her to speak, can I? She's not a criminal to be interrogated. She's a friend, for Pete's sake. It's a good thing Zach has a better handle of the situation than I. And soon enough, he changes the subject. Whether at least isn't necessarily a better topic, however.
Aye?
Up to your body there.
But if you want something, just say so. I've got a fully restocked pantry right here at your disposal. Still not a 5-star level thing, but for an empty stomach, it'd do. Just say the word.
Thanks, Zach. Maybe next time. Food is not really what we came here for. Ash, he's the one who...
She stumbles into one of her uncertain silences again before glancing my way. Like, Zach, help. It's just like, Ash, help. There's a plea in there for me to take the lead in this, but where do we even start? The mansion? The strange things that we've been seeing? The letter? Name title. Even I am afraid of what he might say. But I can't believe I'm considering taking a deeper look into this whole thing in the first place, but here I am.
Please don't tell me something happened again.
Not really?
No, nothing. None so far. And we're keeping it that way as much as possible.
Ash, it's not that easy. This isn't some...
We don't know that. Let me...
Sometimes I amaze myself I know how much I try for her. But what else can I offer her? I was the first one who brushed her off. We've all been given our warnings that day. In that desperate pleading tone of hers, and I just stood there, judging her. This is the least I can do. Perhaps to even make up for all those other times I've hurt her.
Let me look at this first, okay? I agreed to help, but you've got to let me handle things from now on.
I already told you everything.
There must be something we're not seeing in this just yet. We'll sort this out, but no more silly ideas and running around on your own. You're making people worry more than necessary. Becca, especially.
So everything's fine?
Depends on who you're asking. How are things with you? Anything odd?
Good, I guess.
I guess. Last I remembered, you got chased out of your own home by the ghost.
Admittedly, how things went down at the housewarming party last night threw me off a bit.
I'm not asking about that. Remember the letter thing Isabella's been yapping on about? I'm asking about that kind of odd.
As expected. Zach starts to look at me like I've grown a second head. Yeah, I would too. If there was another universe where I was standing in front of myself. Because even as a child, I never believed in ghost stories. The lucky charms and mystical objects my mother had often been stored away or given as poultry gifts for those who would appreciate them more.
Well, the dreams, they're a lot worse than usual. There's a woman now, ever since we saw that letter. I don't know if it's the same one Isabella talked about. Maybe it is, maybe it ain't. I really don't want to go back to sleep sometimes. Last night was the worst. Anyway, why are you asking about this?
Rose's death isn't just a coincidence, Zach. It may have something to do with... I may have...
Wait. Stop right there for a sec, Bella. I thought you ain't buying this stuff, Ash. Just the other day, you said the exact same thing.
Granted, I haven't eliminated every single possibility here yet. What else is there to go off from here? The worried look Zach shoots my way doesn't help one bit in helping me gather my thoughts either. And that's what I came here for. Somehow everyone's suddenly so worried about me. Yes, because you're the skeptical one and now you're believing in things. Like I'm pulling this out of my ass.
I still don't, but even Rebecca, out of all people, claims there's something. Whatever this is, someone has got to look into it. Everything about this screams shady.
And along with Isabella's warnings. What's occurring around Zach? What's happening around Luxborn since Isabella found the letter?
Have you two seen the news this morning?
Zach's puzzled expression is enough answer. Of course he hasn't. Another night, another nightmare. The guy most likely went out as soon as he got out of bed to shake the images off. The memories have never really left him. Isabella, though.
I haven't, actually. Mama called, and I was busy.
That could easily mean anything. Did her older brother end up in jail again? She's had to bail him out numerous times in the past, although all it did was piss her off and not sap out every ounce of cheer in her. There's the other brother, the younger one who keeps insisting that he'll quit school so she can come home. That was 2 years ago, as far as I know. She already sorted that one out. Couldn't have been a father, right? The mansion sale has earned enough recovery for the bill for a while. It should. So, what is it then?
No problem. It should be in the afternoon news as well.
Whatever was bugging her, I doubt it's something meant for casual discussion, as she would have mentioned it sooner. Lacking my curiosity for later, I take the remote and begin cycling through the channels. A distraction. Not a good one, but it's definitely better than leaving her to brood. Eventually, I find one doing a recap of this morning's VODs. There it is. Poor guy is unidentifiable with how badly his body's been burnt. Now I'm catching on to why everything's being caught on fire. Because the woman was burned alive. Oh yeah, no, it makes sense. Murder via arson? That'd be a logical explanation if I was the officer looking into it. Except they couldn't find the source of the fire. The fire didn't even spread.
Found dead in the early hours of the morning today. The fire was contained within the room and no other tenants were harmed, according to Luxbourne police.
They're going to consider spontaneous human combustion soon enough if they don't find anything else. But what's important for everyone else to note is the state of the room.
A similar writing was found in another victim's room from last week's incident. Both were employees of Briar Realty Corporation. LBN has reached out to the...
Like what happened to Coop. Hell, I wonder how many other deaths like this I've missed while we've been looking into right. Abby's already thinking it's a serial killer at this point. How long until I consult with the London Metropolitan? I'm not sure. The Anson Butcher's always been an enigma, even to the people within the city. Gone for a few years, then in the next, one body after another is found. Merely handling the case has apparently driven the chief inspector insane years ago. He never did find out who committed those murders. Maybe now this time.
This is because of that thing, isn't it? I did this somehow.
Okay, not all of it was you. Words all come out like a whisper, but each syllable lingers in the air, heavy with her guilt. In the thick tension in the room, they strike harsher than any of the things we've said. However, she also has to know that she isn't the only one on this. No one has asked her to take this upon herself. Rebecca won't. Zach won't. I sure as hell won't.
It ain't too late. We could still fix this. There's 3 of us here. 4 if you count Rebecca.
No, she's staying away from this. I don't want to involve her in this any more than I already have. Both of you as well.
I already said it. That's completely out of the question. Stop asking.
Encouragements aside, this is still a whole fucking mess and we're all in it. Blind. The only way to make it worse is if we start running around like a bunch of headless chickens. But I have a concrete plan now. I think. Maybe Isabel's right, maybe we should dig deeper into BRC itself. Maybe we are looking at it the wrong way. However, my suspicions are mine for the moment. The details are something Zach doesn't need to know until I have something to show. It's enough that he's aware that I have an idea in mind. For his part, Z-Man doesn't push it. Nothing but a heavy silence with their departure hours later. Seriously, Zach would probably make a more responsible officer than me if only he had the heart to join the force. We could certainly use more kind people like him. But as good as that thought is, I push all of it to the back of my mind. Ooh, Isabel and I head for my car. Tonight I can't stay distracted. Where are we going? So how far are we through the branching tree now? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's not what I wanted to see. Why can't we go this way? Why can't we go this way? I don't want to deal with that. Can we go this way instead? I don't want to deal with her again. Fuck. I didn't actually answer my question. How far? Not that far, if I remember correctly. Jeez. Ash, why is yours so big? Man. Except for a few half-hearted attempts to get some kind of reaction from Isabella, the drive to the BRC is a quiet, awkward affair. More so the hour-long wait for nightfall. Even with only the 2 of us, the place is rife with tense energy, only a matter of minutes now. But the ticking seconds don't take away the edge. For the 5th time, I reach out and fiddle with the radio, adjusting and turning the knobs with no repose. Are we doing a stakeout for realty? It's a nervous quirk I've developed and never bothered to correct during stakeouts. Yeah, something to keep my mind occupied during long nights. What else is there for me to do? The person I usually count on for a casual out-of-the-blue chat refuses any attempts at starting one.
Ash, out with it! If you have something to say.
Wait, where's the... That's not the whole line. What? Oh? The way she quickly falters into silence after, in spite of the tone she takes, though. It makes me doubt if she really means everything she's telling me. She hasn't even glanced my way since we arrived.
Having second thoughts? You can still back out if you want.
We're just going to my office. Why should I?
Dunno? You can get in trouble, maybe. This isn't exactly legal.
Scope BRC out. If the real estate company has any more information that they may be of help, find things about Cooper and the other agents assigned to the Ermengarde mansion. Point is about it's the last property the victims have worked on. Sure, I could also check the station for full reports. That's the easy, semi-legal way. But I don't want to bump into Chief right now. The guy at the precinct will definitely throw me out on his orders as soon as they see me. Not that my plan right now is any better. I'm just breaking into different places, more or less, with a civilian to boot. The latter still doesn't sit well with me. It never will. Especially with this might put her in a very tricky position afterwards. She's been very careful when it comes to her work. Almost a model employee, as people would say. Why is she throwing caution to the wind now?
I'm not an employee here. I'm not supposed to be looking for any confidential stuff. Only people like you are privy to.
If you mentioned earlier that this is your plan, I might have had enough time to think about it. I already promised to help if you need access to those files. I didn't think you'd want to see them this soon and in this way. Besides, the same goes for you, right? You were taken off your case. Won't you get in trouble with your boss?
Honestly, it's a toss-up between breaking into her office or into the rights mansion. I feel like if you did the latter, you would be, dead. As it stands, I'll have an easier time getting in here first. After all, why would someone want to break into a realty company? Been here many times before anyway, for a few casual visits when I wanted to buck Scaredy Cat. Over the years, I have more or less grown familiar with their security setup, with how badly staffed they are. Plus, it's an old building. If the bankruptcy rumors are true, it just means their access protocols might also be outdated.
Still, I can do this on my own, you know.
Really? And how are you even planning to get into our office without an access card? Please explain.
Well, I was going to pry open the card reader and use a gecko.
You're a hopeless case. I really want to know why no one has locked you up yet.
She's got a point, Ash.
Me with this, willingly.
Because she trusts you. You're her friend.
I don't think that'll sit well with the Philippine embassy either. Chances are you'll probably get deported the minute they find out.
Hold on. I need to continuously lubricate my mouth because apparently my mouth fucking hates me. Low blow. I know. But it's worth a shot when she can still turn back. It's not like I don't have any means to get into the place. With or without her, I have a way.
At least I have a reason to be snooping about. My badge and rank can speak for me in case things go south. You?
For a passing second, it seems to work. A hint of panic and hesitation flashes across her features when she looks to me with searching eyes. Then, unexpectedly, it dissolves. Not behind the fear I'm anticipating, but underneath something sharp and searing. I'm not sure what she sees exactly or what she's hoping to find in the short while she holds my gaze. All of it merely goes unspoken, and no longer than a minute later, she simply averts her attention back to the window, training it once again at some point outside.
Isabella, please, now's not the time.
It's too late for that, Ash. Give it a rest.
An appeal, spoken in a voice too harsh or coming from her. Perhaps unintentional. Perhaps one was already too exhausted of everything going on lately. Not hard to concede when she takes on that tone. And soon, despite myself, I sigh. Tucking away every concern I've been lugging around in favor of trusting her on this. According her the time. Hold on, no, it's that makes no sense. Hold on. According to her, according to her, the same confidence she has implicitly given me all this time.
Alright.
According
okay,
to her. Oh, no,
that's
I
what you
understand
want.
now. Jesus.
And don't worry. I
Eh.
didn't mean what I said earlier. I won't let anything happen to you.
That's so straight of you. Her lips briefly turn up in a smile, although none of the cheer reaches her eyes.
Just get this over with, okay? Everyone should be out of the office by now.
Somehow the uncertainty in her posture makes me wonder if she intended it as someone kind of comforting gesture. Whether or not for me or her, she doesn't let me find out without saying another word. She exits the car while I'm left scrambling and chasing after her. She's already at the side entrance, a hand raised in the card reader beside it, and another poised to push the door open when I catch up to her. Whatever doubt there has been in her face a while ago, it's gone. Seeing her like this makes it easy to believe my worries are unfounded, that things might go smoothly this time.
Where do you think you kids are going? It's late. Most offices in this building have already closed up shop for the weekend.
The bloke seems friendly enough. The one can't really tell from his voice alone. He might be a wary sort for all I know. Keeping an unconcerned face and aloof air won't hurt until I figured out how to wiggle us out of the situation.
Just come back on Monday if you have important business.
But from the way Isabella's face brightens up, it looks as though getting through won't be too much of a problem. He's probably been working there for a few months already then, maybe around 4 or 6 months max. Otherwise he would have recognized Isabella or me at first glance. I haven't shown my face here since I've been assigned the firm case a year ago. In the first place, none of their security officers ever lasted a year in service. The longest was around 7.5. I'll give this guy around that before he gets fired or finds a better paying job. For the moment, his too friendly attitude is almost a gift.
Hey, Seb!
Oh, look who we have here. Been a few days since I last saw that ponytail in here, Santiago?
Close enough!
Wait, don't tell me yet. I'll get it right this time. Sanchez.
You were closer the first time?
Drat. I swear it is on the tip of my tongue. I just need a hint to remember.
I take it back. This geezer's not going to let us... This geezer's not going to get past this month. He can't even remember a regular employee's name.
Alrighty, I'm sure of it this time. Centillon?
Still a few ways off, Seb.
Isabella, we don't have all night.
I know. Just let me handle this. Sorry, Seb. Some other time. We're in a bit of a hurry. I just need to get a few things from my cubicle. Important work stuff, you know? Is it okay if we drop upstairs for a sec?
Oh, absolutely. No, go right ahead. As long as you have your access card with you, we're good. Not sure if I'm allowed to let your boyfriend in, though.
Who, me?
My what?
Your boyfriend. The guy with you, isn't he?
It's a fair observation, if I do say so myself. Needless to say, the silence that descends is both uncomfortable and terribly awkward. Although the latter's probably coming mostly from me, because the next second Isabella laughs. Laughs. Lighter than the ones I've heard from her lately, a comforting sound, really. I've been seeing her in such a dour mood since this morning. Even as all of this subsides into more chuckles sooner than I'd like. It's coming to see that I'm at least partially responsible for it, despite my poor heart being beaten to a sorry pulp.
Oh, no! No. He's definitely not my boyfriend.
She might as well have set it on fire and reduced it to dust while she's at it. Frankly, the number of no's in that sentence that I know is a bit too much. Get wrecked, Ash. Christ, one would have been enough to get the message across. Did she really have to put it that way?
That's impossible! Stop being funny, Seb. I'll go on ahead, okay?
She quickly shuffles inside with nothing more than a small wave, leaving behind even a more awkward atmosphere for me to wade through. It would have been bearable if I didn't have to suffer through a stranger's amusement. Alas. What was
Not the boyfriend, but close to it, huh?
Mind your own business.
Kids these days. Good to see her up and about, though. Thought for sure she'd up and disappear like the others.
Excuse me?
You know, stuff in the news.
You mean what happened with Rose Cooper?
I'm going to be stuck here with him for a while. I might as well try to gather as much intel as I can. He may just be a god, someone with no real authority, but most of the time people like him are the ones who know more than they let on.
Yeah, but even before that, we've got a couple of good blokes we never saw again.
Really? Those guys could have just resigned for all you know.
No, I only catch tidbits of stuff from over here. Though seriously, I heard the branch is getting flushed soon, but that's no excuse for anarchy. Figures why Boss Man's been in an awful temper these past months.
They managed to strike a good deal with the mansion in Ansem, right? That didn't do the trick?
Didn't seem like it. The bloke shouting like no tomorrow again. Wasn't very pleased when Gurley called and asked for another leave yesterday afternoon.
Gurley? Isabella?
Not too surprising considering she's already been gone for 3 days. Now she's asking for another? Not that it's a bad thing, it's within her rights as an employee, but Isabella rarely uses her work leaves.
Yeah, poor lassie if you ask me. She found him a buyer for that mansion after all. The least you could do is be considerate to her after a family member's passing.
Yep. There it is. Her dad died. Her dad didn't make it.
Wait, what?
The rumors are BRC was Cooper missing in action. All of it ceases to matter in an instant. Almost on instinct, my eyes zero in on the intercom speaker as a staring daggers at it will show me the man behind the voice so I can see the truth in his face myself.
Oh, you don't know?
No, what?
Nothing. I shouldn't be the one you're asking, and, you know, things might get a bit boring here. No one really wants to hear what a poor old guard wants to say. Why don't you just go after her? As long as you're not looking to create trouble for me, it won't be a problem. You aren't here for that, right?
He's lucky I'm not here to hurt anyone. If I was someone with ill intentions, he might not be smiling at the end of the day.
Well, no, but...
I'll go and unlock that side entrance for you then. Just don't forget to turn off the lights before you both leave, okay?
Hey, wait a second. What do you mean by...
It's with the connection before I can finish and the rest of the question dies on my throat. Soon he latch clicks and the side door swings open. Yeah, the guard realized he fucked up and, you know, ruined, employee confidentiality by being like, yeah, no, Amber died. So this means that's Isabella's probably got away with getting a break because she just applied for, bereavement? Is that it? Bereavement's when, like, you're away from work due to a member passing, right? I'm pretty sure it is. The Sib, a stout man wearing a uniform still too loose for him, waves me over from the gap before he disappears behind his station again. Just my luck here, I thought I'm going to have a count on whatever Isabella brings with her. Although, no matter how much I want to feel happy, something else has already taken a firm seat in the forefront of my mind. Is that why she's been acting not like herself today? Since when? Of course, as I step into the building, I try to push all of those questions as far down as I can. I need to focus. Work is work. But if what I've heard is exactly what I think it is, if it's a sign of things to come, honestly, I don't feel too good about that. I don't like being in an elevator. I don't like this feeling. I feel like we're fucked, chat. I feel like... Oh, we're not there yet, we're fine. I was like, is the elevator gonna be this scene? I'd rather it not. It's quiet right up to the 7th floor where the BRC Luxborn main office is. Seb has been kind enough to switch the guest elevator's power on just as I'm about to head for the fire exit stairs. Which is a welcome relief. I'm an active guy, but stairs I don't want to tire out quickly just in case things get ugly. There probably won't be any more trouble with the building this quiet, but you never know. I swear the whole place definitely feels eerie at this time of night. Until I've confirmed anything, those are still just stories. Worse things can happen. No need to scare myself. Staying calm means fewer mistakes.
Oh, I sure am fucking gutsy, especially with what I'm doing.
Yeah, you are. I think you're getting a bit too cocky there, my guy. I'm breaking a lot of laws here. I'm also putting Isabella in a lot of risks. Best thing that can come out of this is that Isabella's right all along. Worst case scenario? 1, someone finds out Isabella's involvement in this and her boss fires her. 2, I find evidence that would implicate a BRC for Luke right in a crime, and my meddling, if I'm not careful enough, makes it admissible in court. Though, if I'll be honest, I strongly prefer losing my job or facing right over some spirit or ghost or whatever it is. I could always work around the problems with the former. Isabella would also find a better job. BRC never really did pay her properly despite her efforts. But fighting off a the Phantom? How does one even do that? Do guns even work with them? Okay, no. No, they don't. You put your little gun away. It ain't gonna do shit.
Yeah, not going to happen.
Yeah. But tonight I'm here to fix things. If I do without leaving a trail, all the better. Good thing that's what I'm good at. Oh. Easy way in. Nice. I don't have Steam open, so I don't actually know if these are achievements I've already gotten before. But I don't like being in here. This is terrifying. What I'll probably never be good at is finding the proper words when a sitch calls for it. But seeing Isabella's small form beyond those doors, how she pushes through despite carrying an entirely different burden this time, how she's pretending as if everything's normal, it's difficult not to try. People who have never looked beyond her smiles will never know, will never understand. Oh, even Rebecca's probably not yet aware of this. I get it. We have other problems at hand. I've done the same thing plenty of times to protect myself, after all. That's all in her eyes when she glances up a few lights wrap back at the door. She wastes no time in leaving the mess of papers on the table and opening it for me. So even in her confusion as she asks, takes in my presence, barely hides it.
Seb, let you in?
The rough edge in her voice rings a whole different tune to what I'm aware why. But knowing it's different from hearing it straight from her, I can't simply bring this up, can I? It's not a topic suited for casual conversation, and I doubt she wants to talk to me about it. As much as I want to help, there's a distance between us I'll never be able to cross. One that wouldn't even be there if it wasn't for me. Perhaps, if I had been more honest years ago and less of a coward, I might have been able to. Because I wouldn't even do that for the one person I keep telling myself I care deeply about.
What can I say? I'm a very charming person.
To a rock, maybe.
This is the closest we can get to it, I suppose. Like, banter. I say banter instead of banter. I find that really funny, because, like, I normally say banter, but today it's just been banter. It's kind of wild. The fleeting glances, or sometimes the long bouts of silence. And it's enough. For me, it is. Because even without words, there's comfort. With her, it's easy.
Must be a pretty cool rock, then.
Ugh, get over yourself.
Hey now, I deserve some slack here. Today's supposed to be my day off, and yet here I am helping you out.
Helping? By standing at the door?
Well, you're not exactly letting me in.
Despite what she says, she moves to block me when I try to enter. She must have expected this the second we've walked up the building's entrance and counted on the night shift guard to bar me from the place. It's reassuring to know that somehow she's worried about me, although it's a bit misplaced at the moment. Besides, her concerns aside, I really can't let her... Yawning. Yes. Okay. Besides, her concerns aside, I really can't let her get into the thick of things without me. Not with all the problems on her plate right now.
Isabella! Seriously, Ash. Seb might get in trouble for this. You might get in even bigger trouble with your boss.
And you're not?
That was a weird fucking scream. I thought we were about to deal with the ghost. With the Isabella! It would have been more like a Isabella! Come on. What are you doing with your voice, boys, people?
We've already talked about this back at Zach's. It's out of the question.
My throat is killing me again.
At least do it for Seb, please. He's a really nice guy. With the way things are going here, he's...
On that, I agree with her. Seb's not such a bad fellow. Might be a little careless with his job and talks too much, but he means well. I'd hate to see the guy leave here with a bad record in case something goes wrong. However, the anxious look she shoots back at the table might, behind her, bring an even bigger worry.
Did you find something? Aside from what you told me about yesterday?
Not yet. I'm not sure. I haven't started going through the files we have in the records room. Just the ones they handed to me in rows.
Let me see.
Wait, Ash!
Isabella, I already promised you that no one's going to get in trouble after we're done here. Even Seb. I'll make sure we leave the place clean.
Hesitation's still there. A split second of indecision as she tries to form an argument. Eventually, when nothing comes to mind, she steps aside.
Okay, but we can't take the original files out of this office, clear? Not even a single sheet.
we'll just have to make a copy.
You just gotta make sure you don't have records of you making copies.
Don't worry, that's the plan.
It appears to reassure her a nod, then shortly she gestures for me to follow. Passing the sea of cubicles, I can't help but taking everything in their office, a force of habit for the most part. As far as I know, BRC Luxborn used to own this whole building. Offices in several floors once upon a time, then real estate is still a lucrative business for the company on that side of the country. Then competitions showed up and suddenly everything's not so good anymore. It only got worse as the years went by, also according to the rumors. Now the branch is just as flawed, despite of the huge sign in the building's facade says, and frankly, not too hard to believe when one looks at the state of this room right now. Numbers of desks have been cleared out. Personal mementos are scarce as the employees have gone on an exodus. That'll be the downsizing, probably. Still worrisome though. Forced to shake away all of this when Isabella starts handing me the papers she's been looking through. Focus, Frey. There's no point in whining or dwelling any longer on it. That's why we're here in the first place, to find out what the real deal is in the old-fashioned way. Isabella's presence is a whole other blessing too. Stop being straight. I couldn't imagine how long this would take if I pushed along going in here alone.
Is this everything? Where are the documents you mentioned?
Still locked up in the records room. Do you need them now?
Bring them here. Everything that has to do with the mansion's sale. Even those who worked on it during the renovations. The cleanup. Everything. Including your mandatory sign-in sheets.
Nothing to bring up, but at least it elicits a laugh from her before she hits the records room. She remembers. And no matter how weak of the sound of it is from her usual ones, it's a welcome thing to hear. It reminds me of that Isabella. Still down it. She returns minutes later with a thick stack of folders and binders. The next hour and a half, we work in complete silence while we dig into everything compiled in the folders. Not an easy task considering how thick the whole thing is, but there's two of us. In fact, Isabella does most of the work, sorting the contracts, employee lists, and stuff that we don't need into a neat pile. She justifies that the restoration alone takes up a stack of papers that's just an inch thick. Third-party service providers hired for the masonry, radiators, woodworking, plasterwork, slate roofing, and a whole bunch of other things were well documented. Hell, every single contractor who worked on the project were listed individually, even if they were just there to do the plumbing. The high profile and high cost stayed alright. But with that scope comes the loopholes. It means plenty of room to hide something in if there's something fishy going on. All I have to do is find a pattern. It doesn't take long. Upon closer glance, despite the original owners shouldering the renovation costs, it'll be surprising if they manage to break even on the Ermengarde mansion. With the additional expenses for the open home, the commission for their agents, and other overhead fees. At one point, the negotiations to get it listed under our DRC's name almost broke down too. No disagreement about the listing price. The owners wanted to be rid of it as quickly as possible, while keeping the worth at a profitable level. DRC was insisting on a higher amount, double what the appraiser suggested. This, plus the rumor that their branch is closing. BRC Luxborn really is the red. And the sale of the mansion could have easily been a desperate move to keep the branch afloat.
No wonder the final sale happened as fast as it did. Did you know about this?
No, they took it off our hands after I submitted the final documents for the sale. I didn't even know until I read this. I'm not sure if Rose did. I've only been given the key to the records room after she... Anyway, my point is, they've kept all the files from me. Rose was the one who compiled everything from our side. And even then, she was probably not aware of this. There's only so much they let us know. After that, they just told us to wait for our commission, and that the legal team would handle the rest. The rumors are true. Huh.
Seems so.
No, Isabella's losing her job. Ah, fuck. Sheesh, this place is just unlucky, going bankrupt while the rest of this crap is happening. But this isn't what we're looking for. What we need is the who, the people aside from Isabella and Cooper involved in this business with the mansion and how they are now. We can't do much in the outside contractors. They won't be on file. The employee list, on the other hand. Even with 2 people working through the pile, the whole task takes us quite a while. It's a quarter of an hour when we put down the papers with the sign and move on to the client's open upon Isabella's insistence. For that, the sign-in form from the open home comes in handy. Then it gives me a laugh when I spy the fake name I wrote down on the sheets. What one was he? Ashley, I think, was him.
Why'd I even pick this name? It sounds so lame.
What name?
Nothing important. Just focus on those papers you have. We need to finish this soon, before Seb suspects anything.
She snatches the paper away before all the hiding it occurs to me. Not that there's much secret in it. Isabel found me that afternoon anyway, but still.
Lee?
I've been careless that day, tailing Luke right without confirming where they were headed off to. While the butler's terribly efficient in keeping the right engagements from the public eye, there are other ways, if only I've been given the time of my day. In retrospect, I've been too eager, too impatient to find something that'll crack the case and be done with it. Maybe my failure goes as far back as the day of the open house, not during the party that last night.
Yeah, well, I was pressed for time.
Seriously, Ashley? Were you even trying?
Oh, come on. You didn't even notice I was the one who wrote it down.
Of course I wouldn't. Only an idiot would use his real name.
It worked, though. Admit it. It's genius. Who would have thought, huh?
She responds with a roll of her eyes. I need to stand up. He responds with a roll of her eyes and drops the matter entirely by shoving the paper back in my hand. We lapse back into our respective tasks afterwards, wordlessly skimming through everything read, to decide, get another one. Looking back at the sign-in sheet, I spot Luke Wright and Hannah Wright listed up top. Not that I know about them already, of course, but scanning through the list, the name immediately comes to my attention.
Madeline Williams.
Something wrong?
Huh? No, just that I remember this girl listed here.
She frowns, moves to sit close, and takes a careful read of the sheet. There's a long moment before she speaks up again, but from the way she stances, she appears to be expecting the worst already.
What about her?
She was with me, in the group following Cooper, when we toured the upstairs part of the mansion, I mean. Rather loud one, especially when we took a peek into the attic. Kept talking about the ghost stories the whole tour.
Then, do you? Do you think she's...
She was reported missing 3 days after.
There was a ruckus at the precinct the day her family filed it. Threats were naturally given at the lack of progress days later, desperate ones. Her family's willing to shell out the cash they have just to find her, to no avail, unfortunately. Officer Benjamin has been in a bad mood ever since he spoke with them, but what can he do? What can we do? He's tied. We're all tied. There's only so much we're able to do with everything that has been shoved into our hands recently.
She still hasn't been found. It's already been a week.
Isabella makes no further comment aside from it. Instead, she sits back on her chair with a distant look in her eyes, her hands balling into fists as she struggles with her frustration? Or maybe it's anger. I mean, they're 2 forks from the same path. But the moment doesn't last long. Soon her grip loosens and she folds her hands back on her lap. Her expression, however, it's one I've seen too many times in the mirror. What does one say to a person burdened not by one loss but many? Carries it in their shoulders like a badge of shame. I've yet to find the answer for that myself. Until then, the only way is forward. Press on to see what our attempts at fixing the mistakes might lead us. Despite my own doubts, a glimpse of that look in her face is enough reason for me. I just can't give up. It's too much at stake, too much to lose. With a renewed focus, I continue. On the third and last sheet, I spot another one. Beatrice Wilde. One I recall from the newspaper obituaries. Died of a heart attack. The letter of correspondence expressing condolences to her family confirms as much in her files. Passed away at age 74 in her sleep.
She's at that age. It certainly could have been a natural death.
Right? I'd like to believe so. But 3 more letters turn up with rummaging around the stack and it leaves nothing more than foreboding feeling in me. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. I'm pretty sure this isn't blurred out. I think it's hiragana, actually. Or at least got some interesting mixes in here. I really want to know what they were doing for like trying to make all these things like look like this. Because I'm seeing, oh man, I'm seeing some hiragana characters in here, but I'm also seeing some English words. So I'm like, I want to know why the hell they did this. Because this is obviously like a proper document that they fucked around with the font. Like this is written. I want to know because this is fascinating. I'll address the families of clients who have passed away in the last week. Regardless, these go into a pile of things worth looking into after our visit here, along with William's info sheet. There's just so many names, so many faces. Each one I've seen that day, and here I am wondering if they're all right. It isn't a selfless thought that brings the question to mind. Rather, it's the logic that if more of them are still alive, the more people I can choose to question. Nothing concrete yet, of course. These are just speculations, but we're making progress. Once done with the sign-in sheets, we stashed it along with the growing pile to my left and pull out as many of the other documents Isabel had already prepared for me. Oh my god, my angel. We're looking through the employee list now. Those have just been assigned to the mansion. Because if Isabella was to be believed, if what she's seen, what happened to Rose Cooper is because of that letter, I need to know. Everyone who has possibly read it, aside from the 3 of us, if they have been noticing strange things too. For all I know, these may have just been a terrible coincidence. Although the thought of that starts to diminish as we dig into the company files. 15 minutes later, the stack close to my elbow has risen from 5 to 21 different dossiers. Client and employee documentation. People who have either visited the open house or worked on the property in some capacity since the latest discovery. Turns out there are 2 more employees who had handled the mansion directly, aside from Cooper and Isabella. Christian Sai, the realty specialist, and Mark Julius Jean-Marie, the estate appraiser.
This C guy, he was in custody just the other day.
Really? Sir John has been looking for him. He stopped reporting to work a few weeks ago. Are you sure it's the same person?
Yep, this is him. Folks at the precinct said they went to his house after a noise complaint. They found him just acting all crazy. Had to take him in when he started getting violent. He kept screaming about a woman.
Immediately, she stiffens. I don't want to bring it up or imply a connection to Isabella's story. That is exactly what happened.
It was driving the guards mad, but he didn't last too long in there. A few hours in, and he just started bashing his own head against the wall, and, well, it was messy, to say the least.
Oh, no. We had no idea. Is he okay? HR just marked him as AWOL because none of their calls would get through.
He's in the hospital right now. I heard they're putting him into a psychiatric ward as soon as he recovers. He's still a bit unstable.
Jean-Marie on the other. His employee file notes his date of leaving and then when his final payment had been given. Along with it, there's a letter to his family about their appraiser being found dead in his office. Communication is hush-hush and there's mention of compensation if they don't talk about it to the media. Inspector Abigail has often scolded me for not reading the reports on a regular basis, but I try to keep up to date as much as I can. When I do, I make sure I'm aware of the gist of what's going on in my city. This never reached the police's ears or the health and safety executives.
Do you know about this guy?
One glance at us is everything. They've hidden it from the media, they've kept it from the police. Not surprising, this will also be a secret from someone of Isabella's position in this company.
Rose was looking for him last week. We haven't heard anything from him either. Until now. They never mentioned this to us.
Yeah, I wonder what else that they're not mentioning to you. Suspicious? But I had a chance to drink, goddammit. Ahem. business going under and someone dies while working here. Of course I want to keep that quiet. It's bad publicity. This whole thing is just getting freakier by the minute. Nevertheless, I hand the files for Isabel to make a copy of.
Pages with their names, addresses, and contact numbers will do. We'll start with the ones who live within the city.
Sometimes there are things you really just can't brush off as a mere coincidence. In my line of work, once a patent pops up, it's only right to be suspicious. Especially with the thing with Sai. It hits too close to the stuff my own friends have been telling me.
All of this?
It's considerably thinner than the one she brought in, yet somehow, the way she hugs the folders close to herself makes it even heavier. Like she's hanging onto it the same manner one would latch onto a lifeline.
Only the noteworthy ones.
Those that might still be alive might. She doesn't need to know that.
We can't check the outside contractors, but the guys with the direct connection to BRC and the people who attended the open house should be enough. We don't have time to see how everyone's doing, especially if what you said is true.
For a second she appears about to argue, but quickly decides against it and hides it away before anyone reads the question in her face. Then, in a too abrupt motion, she turns towards the copy and gets to work. Soon the only machine's constant thrum fills the air around us while I keep busy cleaning up the mess we've made. The lack of talk is awkward, to put it mildly, disturbing at worst. I've gotten so used to letting her just babble away whenever there's just the two of us. Boys? We've only just started going down there? Oh god. Why am I doing it? I could tell, however. She wants to do more. She wants to fix this mess herself. That desire makes her antsy. But at the same time, she's learning how to not be impulsive or stubborn, exactly as I told her yesterday before agreeing to any of this. Or maybe these so-called changes have always been with her. Dire situations have always pushed people to change, after all. Although seeing this happen in front of me only makes it difficult to find the proper things to say. And as with this tense and charged, what is left for us to talk about? Certainly not the news. That's worse. Is when you really realize this in hindsight right after you've already run your mouth off.
You know, for a house your company seems to be in a hurry to sell, they still made quite a fortune out of it. Look at this. 1, 2, 3... 6. Are you sure they're planning to give your entire share for this? This isn't a small amount, especially given the usual cut. And their accounting department isn't in the greatest shape either.
Even if they don't, it's not like someone still needs it.
Yep. Her dad died. And there's the reason why people don't let me talk. Silence once again descends throughout the room, denser compared to the ones we've shared tonight. Behind me, I can still hear her movements, sharp and precise, while she feeds the originals to the machine. Then, with one last click, it all stops. Her feet shuffle slightly against the floor when she moves away. Something creaks softly, probably the table, as she settles her weight against its side. By this time, an apology is already at the tip of my tongue, but...
Belle,
Papa's gone, Ash.
But those scant few seconds, everything between us shifts and the gravity of her words sinks. Right then and there, something harsh and immovable rises between us. Death is something I'm familiar with. Almost 10 years in the police force, and it's impossible not to be acquainted with it. But this is different from those dead bodies we examined in forensics, a far cry from the victims we found on a bad investigation. Those I could easily distance myself from. No emotional attachments, no need for pretenses. Yet somehow I still find myself grasping for things to tell her, any words of comfort that'll dull the pain. Because even without looking at her, her grief feels palpable enough, her pain an immutable weight hanging over us. Oh god. Oh no. No, don't make me choose. Oh god. Oh god. Why? Alright. Okay. Shit. Okay. What's our relationships like? Okay. Fuck. Okay. Tell me about him.
When?
Yeah. Okay.
Huh? When what?
Your dad. I mean, When did you find out?
She doesn't answer. Not immediately, anyway. For a long moment, the hush simply stretches out before us, spanning across the seconds we let pass while we both simply stand there waiting. Eventually, she exhales. Lightly, muted enough that I might have missed it. I had not been paying attention to her every movement.
Yesterday, around 3 in the afternoon there, Mama called. She told me he passed away in his sleep, and I guess I can take comfort in that, huh? That Papa wasn't in any pain when...
She trails off, releases another ragged breath hidden underneath her chuckles. Each one's mirthless, heavy with nothing but sorrow. Then she falters into silence. After all my attempts at lightening her burden, I'm suddenly at a loss. Reassurances could only do so much when her only reason for staying here has suddenly been taken from her. A hope yanked from under her feet right after it was generously given. And without the one person who pushes her to endure all of the shit she's going through, means nothing but a struggle. What does one say to a person fraying at the edges, slowly wearing thin and breaking? Are words even enough? What right do I have, anyway? I cannot give her anything apart from lies that changed me as a person and affection she may or may not have even want for herself. Because no matter how easy she has wormed herself into our lives, how immutable her presence has become, her own heart will always yearn for something else. For home.
Tell me about him.
Huh? About what?
Your dad. Tell me about him. Anything. Just talk. Say anything you want. Doesn't matter what it is. I'll listen.
Silence again. Oh god. Choking away with saliva again. God damn it. One moment. I need liquid. I need to lube. Alright, let's try that again. Silence again. As if she's testing the weight of my question. For what purpose it is, for a reason even I can't say right now. After a while, though, she starts. Reluctantly, her voice hitching, faltering and stumbling on each syllable as she chooses her words. A rough start, but soon it steadies. And along with it, to keep company the stories from childhood and memories she's fond of. Are the tears. Honey, I don't want to cry right now. Despite this, in spite of grief choking her words off, the hurt closing her throat and the sobs raking her leaf form, she continues. Like the mere act of speaking is a relief in itself. A release. She tells me of her father, the very person who named her, how she looked up to him, how she was a bit of a tomboy growing up in her attempts to imitate him. Aw, that's so cute. And how the man encouraged her to pursue what she really wanted. Perhaps even the only thing she ever did for herself, having grown up not wanting anything more than food to put on their tables.
He told me I don't have to listen to them. That I can do what I want. Every day, he'd wake up at 4, Ash. Because he'd earn more that way. And every single time, he'd give them to me. Whatever extra he earned, he'd hand them all. So I'd have something to use for my paintings. And you know what? Back home, just a good tube of paint costs almost as much as what we spend for food the whole day. But he'd always set something aside. He told me he wanted to see my paintings in a museum one day.
She pours it all out. Every little thing she loved and admired about him. Woman, you made me cry, goddammit. Like this, It's easy to see why she has gone to such great lengths for him. Why she abandoned her dreams. Why she went against his wishes just to grant him another chance at life. Others will say it's her warmth that draws people to her, or her cheer. Neither are wrong, but neither is the whole truth to her either. Because those who have never bothered to look beyond the surface will never see it. See her. See someone earnest, someone who's always meant well, despite her underlying stubbornness. This is how she loves. Warm, steadfast, unflinching. You never met many people like her. Not in my line of work. Not with the kind of people I've had to deal with. Always with something to hide. Always with something to lie about. Eventually, when you run across too many of them, you change. You become like them. In many ways, for a lot of reasons, she's the kind of person I want to be and be around with. It made me feel like I am still worth something.
He didn't want me to leave. Begged that I should finish my studies first. In the end, I couldn't even grant him that one request. I'm a terrible daughter, aren't I?
You're not.
Huh?
Dude, why are you blushing like that? Bro, this is not the time. Bruh.
You're not. I can't speak for your dad. I haven't even met the man. But I know you're not.
I mean, you never will, he's dead. I'm not entirely sure where I'm going with this. The remark just came out. I'm stringing all of these together as I go. But one thing is certain. None of what I'm about to say is a lie.
The Isabella I know is a total klutz, but I've never seen anyone work as hard as she does. She's the type who wears her heart on her sleeve. Though it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's always in the right place. She's intimidated by a lot of stuff, but she knows how to appreciate the smallest things in life. Frankly, you've caused us no small amount of trouble since you barged into our lives.
That's true.
But when I'm with you...
Do not make this gay. Do not make this straight, sir. Wrong time. Wrong time. Don't you do it. Don't you do it.
When I'm with you, all of my worries seem trivial.
He has already crept up my face and the turns this whole thing is about to take riches. Bro! Before I blurt out the rest of it, I declare feelings I'm not ready to reveal to anyone, much less to her. My hand comes up to small the rest of it. Yeah, calm down. Calm down. Pick a better time. Not when she's crying about her dead dad. My guy, that's the worst time to do it. Holy shit. The embarrassment quickly takes the reins before I completely clamp my mouth shut.
And I'm pretty sure Zach and Becca think the same way. You have a nasty way of growing on people like that, and you know what? We got everything we needed in here. I'll just wipe the security recordings and we're good to go. While I'm at it, you better wipe the snot off your face. And you don't look very nice when you're bald like that.
That's so dumb. Oh, that's so dumb. Hastily, I gather everything. The personal files, client documents, sales agreements, and contracts, anything my hands could reach. In record time, all of it has been stacked into a neat pile, ready for storage. I'm heading for the records room not a few seconds later. Wherever that is. It should be an easy find unless this place is a maze of some sort, which I highly doubt. Still beats staying here and seeing the look on her face. Crap. Really, her anger's still bearable. I can take that, including the flower she sends my way.
So, yeah, I'll go get the security videos and put these back where you pulled them from. Man, these are heavy, you know?
Guy.
Gosh, it's just paper. You don't even know where I...
Oh, no, I can handle this. Easy as pie. And, yeah, security cams, tapes, videos, cams.
My god, this guy.
Yeah, I'm off.
A rejection at this point? Maybe. Maybe not yet. In the fast back to the archive room is a cinch. With the documents back in their proper places, I lock the door behind me, tucking it twice just to make sure. Now, onto the next order of business. Removing the evidence of our little excursion in here, or at the very least, the parts showing what I've been doing during the past hour. A kind of our faces plastered on security footage, showing us breaking the laws, as it were. I'm going to have to wipe the data for Isabella's access entries, card entries too. Surprisingly, finding the security room proves a breeze. That will be tricky getting inside. What will be tricky is getting inside. In fact, I don't like how quiet this is. It's like nothing. I don't like that. I don't like that. The fact that no one's walked out during the whole time we've been here means the room is either empty or their security sound asleep. No, I'm banking more on the former. If they're cutting corners and firing agents, I have no doubt that they've fired the guy stationed here, if they have anyone watching the monitors in the first place. It's a rather common thing for establishments, just leave security recording indefinitely, only check the footage if something actually happens. Just to check, I press my ears against the door listening for a sign of anyone occupying them. After a long minute of nothing, I give the knob a few rattles.
Standard lock and key. Should be easy enough to pick.
We have lock pick sets, but those are only to be used if necessary and with a search warrant. Even then, it's a skill set rarely needed. Subtlety isn't on a cop's priority if they have authority to search the premises. Bolt cutters and brute force are our favoured methods. If those fail, we call a locksmith. Me, I prefer a good old hairpin trick with those options out available. Besides, they're easy to hide and store for emergencies. Running my hand through my hair, I pull out one of the bobby pins. 2 of these, and I can just open any standard lock. One makes a lever, and the other makes the handle. I won't call it a complex skill, but it certainly takes time and a lot of practice. I read the word as patience, not practice. I'm going to be so real. To successfully pick a lock. Good thing I've practiced with them for a bit in my college years. I learned more when they're accessible and standard use for a law enforcement officer. I wiggle here, I click there, and I manage to seize all the pins in the locking mechanism soon enough. Yeah, I only know how to do that in a game, because the thing was Assassin's Creed, right? Yeah, Assassin's Creed has those kinds of things, I think. So that's the only time you've ever actually done this kind of stuff in games. I don't know how to do it IRL though. It'd be an interesting skill to learn just in case an emergency happens though. Not for anything nefarious, which I do not condone using it for nefarious purposes like Ashton is doing right now. Okay, he's not nefarious, but break the law. Please, no breaking the law. I'd rather not have my vamplings go to jail. That'd be not fun for any of the parties involved. With a slight turn of the knob, the security room's ripe for the picking. I don't like this. The room's odor hits me first. The sharp, nauseating stench as if someone accidentally spilled a gallon of bleach in the room. I wonder where the last person died then. When's the last time they opened this place?
Ugh, this place smells awful. Jesus, it's worse than the forensics lab on a bad day.
Yep. I'm pretty sure someone died here. This is probably because of the badly botched effort to clean the place up. Even in the dark, I can spy dark stains on the walls. I really don't have time to try and play it like it's ketchup or soda right now. But I have this strange gut feeling who the mess might belong to. Yeah, remember that worker who died in the office? Yep. As expected, no security personnel mans the office's CCTV controls, and the standalone DVR setup is open for anyone. Normally, I'd have a heap of things to say about the sloppy security setup, but right now their negligence makes the whole task of erasing evidence easier.
No fuss, no muss.
The next one should be the access card data. Hopefully getting into the computer won't be too much of a hassle. Everything up until now has been smooth sailing. There have been hiccups, I'll give it that. But there's nothing to dampen the mood I'm in right now. The good mood I'm in right now. Once I shift my attention... I'm sorry, but all I can see with like this bit here is it kind of looks like it's just going around in circles, and I'm like, ooh. Once I shift my attention to the machine sitting next to the DVR setup, all of it swiftly evaporates. I am no computer buff, but I can definitely recognize one more than a decade old. Simply looking at this makes me feel young. With a heavy sigh, I power it up and mentally prepare myself for the slow slug. Slow apparently remains an understatement here. It's a whole 3 minutes for the thing to start up. The OS hasn't even started loading. And in my bedroom, and in my boredom, I start inspecting the live feeds from the cams. Only two works, one from the view outside. Everything seems to be in order there, and the other from the main workspace where it's a fleeting glimpse, a curiousy glance. With the sight of it stops me. Oh. The image is a bit blurry. Here we go, boys. The image is a bit blurry, but standing there right in the middle of the room by one of the cubicles, I can make out the form of a...
What the hell is...
I won't get too far into the line of thought. A few seconds after my words have slipped out without any sort of warning while I'm trying to make sense of what it is, the figure moves. Erratically. A moment of paralysis hits me when she stops right in front of the camera. Like a damn rookie, I go over to the face of danger. Apparently I haven't been trained to handle the supernatural, but in this one, it isn't it? And, oh, fuck. Her eyes bore into me. The malice and the piercing, even beyond the screen, it's enough to make me go numb. Only the mug, crashing onto the floor when my hand accidentally takes a swipe at it, snaps me out of the trance, reminding me that I'm not the only one here. Isabella. She seems she hasn't noticed anything. Am I the only one seeing this? In any case, whatever is happening, I have to get her out. Gathering my wits, I quickly reach for my phone. It takes 2 seconds before she answers and no time for relief.
Did you really have to call? We're practically on the same floor.
Get out of there.
What? What are you...
Out. Get out. I'll meet you in the elevator. Just...
You're creeping me out, Ash.
Just get yourself out of that place, now!
Without second thought, I back away from the controls, from the room, ready to be done with this place. Before my foot even moves, she disappears.
Son of a...
Fuck. Instinct instantly takes over. Guys, we're in the ring. Instinct instantly takes over, and my hand quickly reaches for my gun at my side, only to meet with empty air. A mistake that cost me a few precious seconds while the paperwork I brought with me threatens to scatter everywhere at the same time. Gathering everything and finding myself once more with no weapon to protect myself. My sense of self-preservation kicks right in as I lunge towards the door. I sprint across the office without daring to look back. Isabella's already waiting in front of the elevators by the time I make it out of their office. Worry creases her eyebrows upon glancing at me, but I don't have time to answer the question in her eyes. As soon as I reach her, I grab her arm, practically throw the two of us into the open elevator and slam the button to the ground floor. I don't think it's over. I don't think it's over yet. Oh. Oh, my throat's not doing good, so now I want to finish this day, and then I'm stopping stream. A sigh of relief escapes from me when the elevator starts its descent. The clicking noise fades off into the distance. Beside me, Isabella shifts, moving the stack of papers under her arm while she takes in my appearance. Concern in her eyes, though all I offer her is a small gesture of my hand while I attempt to compose myself. Breathe. In. Out.
Why are we in such a hurry?
We need to get out of this place. Did you get everything?
Yeah, it's all here. But really, you don't look too good. What's wrong, Ash?
I'll be fine. I was in the security room. From the monitors, there was a fucking...
Oh, I hated this one. I'm so glad we don't have QuickTime events on, otherwise I would be panicking so badly right now. I remember this. Oh, I don't like this one. The rest of what I'm about to say dies on my tongue when the elevator stops and the doors opens too. There's a moment's pause while we both take in our surroundings. Confusion's understandably there.
Oh, come on! They should just replace this whole thing.
No, I'm quite sure I pressed for the ground floor.
Right. Isabella said the elevator always did have problems when I visited in the past. Often she becomes so angry when they get to her floor, but they'll have to repeatedly smash the button for the elevator to even more. This is always good for a laugh, and I wasn't worried now. From the distance beyond the light's reach, the noise echoes in my ears along with the rapid pounding in my chest. Isabella stiffens, her eyes glow wide at the sound. Gingerly, she steps up to grab the hem of my sleeve and grips it hard, tight enough for her fingernails to dig through. Her eyes search wildly for the source of the sound while I stand protectively in front of her.
Ash, did you hear that?
Anyone there?
That's so dumb of you.
I can hear you moving from here. Show yourself.
No. No response. No response. Only the sound of something scurrying along the floor and the walls in slow, deliberate movements. Faint, although still audible enough for the hush. Till it stops. A moment.
We need to go, Ash. We have to.
Then, this time it isn't in my imagination. Instinct of my training, my whole body freezes, hands stilling amid press of the button, eyes glowing wide while waiting for any sort of movement from further back, the ears strained for the source of the sound. I can't even offer Isabella any reassurance, as much as I hate to admit it, and dread has seeped into every nerve in my body. And then the blasted elevator won't work.
This isn't in my fucking training manual.
Ash, we need to leave. I know that sound. Ash, please, get the elevator.
Another series of shuffling against the ground, a laughter, and all of a sudden she's just there. Like a twisted spider. She stares at us, a look of hunger in her eyes and venom in the twisted manner she smiles. A glee that is well earned when the damn files have been dropped right on the spider's web.
Damn it!
Without warning, she moves, mocking me with each hurried and unhurried crawl as she makes, knowing I'm at her mercy. The door! Our lives are in the hands of this crummy elevator, literally hanging between life and death. We are not going to die here. Not in a damn elevator. As if the divine power has earned me, swearing up a storm in my head, the doors close just as the thing comes near. Soon, the elevator, the blasted thing, is headed up. Isabella's knees buckle in relief. In two ticks, she's hugging herself with any care for the mess of papers or folders she's dropped on the floor in her panic. I would pick them up right now, girlie, so we can just boom the fuck out. She draws one ragged breath and another, each one brimming with nothing but relief. And this is the most I've been tired my whole life. My whole damn life. Just not during training. My superior first asked me to drop 100, not after a stakeout, but after smashing the fucking elevator button repeatedly. I slump to the ground, we're beside her, worn out, but I don't let myself feel relief again, not until we're out of here. Isabella seems to be on the same mind as she looks to me. Still, I find myself sharing a shaky laugh with her.
We're okay. We're fine. Right.
Not until we get out of here.
Yeah, we're good. Alive. Fuck, we should have taken the goddamn stairs.
Okay, that's kind of funny though. Twice I've seen it, thrice if I include the party, unless I'm tripping balls without realizing there's no doubt in my mind this is actually happening. I don't want to believe it, but with the truth staring me in the face, it'll be stupidity to deny the reality of the matter. We finish the day, please. I wanna pack up. I wanna go home. As soon as the lift hits the ground floor, we hightail out of the building. Except they're sound asleep when we pass by his station. However, in the face of what we've seen, everything I've faced tonight, we really can't care less who still sees us on our way out. The sooner we get away from this place, the further the better. I'm just not sure if that also means being safe. She almost got us, damn it. The fucking thing almost had us. Shit. It was only by luck that we managed to get the fucking elevator unstuck. Had the blasted thing not worked at the last second. I need some air. Fresh, breathable air that doesn't stink like death and gore all at once. I'm panicking. Of Christ, losing focus. With another person here, I can't afford that right now. Isabella hasn't said anything, but I know she's more shaken than I am. Can't lose it with another person depending on me.
Remember your training, Frey.
Another deep breath, and soon I'm starting the engines and driving us off. After that little incident, somewhere open would be good. Someplace I won't get trapped. Blackspoon Park brings a welcome relief, though only by some. Chill that has seeped in my bones is still there, furling and unfurling beneath my skin. If I don't move, if I don't busy myself with anything, soon my brain will go haywire. The last thing I want to happen when there are plenty of things to do. But this already answers all of it, doesn't it? Those deaths. Just how many copies of the letter are out there? Isabella can't have the only one if other people are also getting cursed. Could it be that the one she has shown us is just one of 5? Maybe there's more? The whole past of this 5 people business is ridiculous. Well, what point is it still? Well, no, we've found 21 people who might have read the letter. 7 of them deceased, 8 if we count Cooper. And that's only with what we can find right now. We have no idea how many contractors and specialists hired from outside the company are doing if they're any way affected. How many more people are suffering? How many are missing? How many are dead? I still can't blame the rights. Can I still even blame the rights for this? If anything, they might be in danger as well. I don't think I can wish a curse upon anyone, no matter how big or douchebag Luke Wright is. There's also that woman. How do we get out of this mess? How do we get away from her? Shit. Still so many things we need to look into. Yet all my body wants to do is pace, burn out whatever excess energy there is in me.
Ashton, I'm getting dizzy. Will you sit down?
This is the first time Isabella has said anything. She's been sitting quietly since we dropped here. Better and less distracting than watching her nervous habits, I suppose. She certainly seems calm now. Too calm, in fact, for someone who has just seen something terrible. But it's been more than a week for her already. People do get desensitized to things at some point. Even someone like Isabella, who knows what's going on inside her head, though. Inside mine, there are too many, and none of them would sit still.
I'm not going crazy, am I? I saw that. I'm pretty sure I saw that. I didn't inhale anything weird. Just shit. Shit. Isabella, please tell me that wasn't...
I love that smirk on her face. Pop off, girl. Not what I'm not expecting when I turn to her is mirth. One that she could barely contain.
You're laughing. Why are you laughing?
I'm not quite sure what she sees in my face, but in the next second a laugh suddenly bursts out from her.
I'm so sorry. It's just that you should have seen the look on your face back there.
Yes, right. Sure. I'm not the one who's panicked. You almost ripped my arm off.
Yeah, but...
Isabella, this isn't funny. We could have ended up dead.
I know. I'm really sorry.
But it's kind of funny, though.
But this is just too precious to miss. You really lost your shit for a moment there.
It's very much the whole thing of, like, you've gone through a terrible situation. You make light of it to get through it. That's what Isabella is doing.
You're trying to get back at me, aren't you?
Okay, and that too.
Well, I'm not the one who kept calling someone scaredy cat for years. How does it feel?
I'm not scared.
Really? Because it doesn't seem that way to me. At all.
You were terrified, Ash.
I'm not, alright? I just don't know what to do right now.
Sure. Immediately after the moment passes, replaced by another tense silence. Laughter dies in her lips as everything sinks in. We're in deep shit, and it has finally caught up and hit us like a ton of bricks. Hit me more than anyone. Yes, because you didn't believe. Everyone's like, what told you so? Because she has been warning us of this since day one, and I'm the first person who brushed it off. Despite that, she still reaches out to me, tugging at my sleeve almost desperately. Her hands are trembling, and there's a tremor in her voice when she speaks. Without the cheer, only fear remains. One that she has been burdened with from the beginning.
We're still going to do something about it, right? Not just stand around and let that thing get us.
Unexpectedly, she leans her forward against my arm, and her grip on my sleeve tightens. There's desperation in there, a quiet plea.
I don't want to lose anyone anymore, Ash.
There. I wish I could give her that promise, but with so many unknowns, so many things I don't understand about this, how could I? Why she still trusts that I can do something about this baffles me. It all feels wholly undisturbed, considering the way I've treated her. Hold on. I think people have left the door. keep hearing so many detectable movement outside my room, and I'm like, oh. Despite my reluctance, I find myself returning her fold in her holding kind. A grasp, a woman light enough for comfort. Not a promise, but the closest thing to it. Oh, Abby. Why are we starting off with the bad music? Why are we starting... Hold on, why are we starting off with the bad music? I need one moment. One moment. What the fuck? Why, what? I'm curious, but at the same time, I want to end the stream. Please tell me this is a dream. I'm going to assume it's a dream. I'm going to assume it's a dream, and we can just come back to this afterwards. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. I've had enough. I'm clicking off the game. I've had enough. I don't want to do it no more. I don't want to do it no more. I don't want to do no more. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I need enough. That was so many emotions. Oh, I did not need all those emotions in like that small amount of time. Why is the music so damn quiet? Here we go. Okay. Hello. Hi chat. Hello Vamplings. So we finished Rebecca. It's POV. And now we're a decent chunk of the way through Ash. I'm assuming. I don't want to go back and check. No, fuck it, we're going back and check. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. That's not the button I wanted. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. I need to find where we're at. Boys, we've barely gone through anything. Hold on. Look at. What's the music? What's the music? Thank you. We're here. We're here. And look at where we are on here. We have barely scratched the surface of Ash's one, and Ash's one is far more detailed than Rebecca's. Because again, we click on Rebecca's, her line is so much thicker than Ash's one. I'm not looking forward to that. I'm not looking forward to that, but that's not an issue for me today. That's an issue for us next week when I play the game again. So yeah, no, that's it for now. Thank you all for being here. I'm just quitting the game so that I don't have to deal with that in the background. That was a lot. But yeah, thank you all for joining me tonight in the manor. And you know, playing fun little comfort horror game. I say comfort horror game. That's just a wild phrase. I had fun despite getting scared, and having emotions. Imagine having emotions. Emotions are healthy, I promise. But yeah. So again, gentle reminder that we are currently trying to do an streaming experiment to hit Twitch affiliate without any of my content creators, friends, influencers, and such. My socials, where you can follow me for things. I need to update some more of the VODs. But VODs are being currently released daily until we're up to date. And on my Blue Sky is where I post updates on streams. So currently, normally I will post a weekly like schedule. However, I have lost access to a good chunk of how I do that, so I've just been posting when I'll be going live on my Blue Sky. So any updates and extra streams, go follow my Blue Sky to learn more about that. On Twitch, that's the wrong one. I would like to do the pronouns one, thank you. My pronouns obviously on the screen are they, he. There's fun little things in that regard. If you want your pronouns in Twitch chat, There is a browser extension where you can put them in your Twitch chat, which is what it's quite fun, which is what that link is there for. My voice has definitely been all over the place. It's because I'm trying to train it to be more done here naturally, and it's taking a while, and that's fine. I'm also very out of practice of it. Well, yeah, that's all. Okay, so before we start the next song, we'll just flop over to here real quick. So thank you all for joining me in the match. But for now, I must depart. I hope you all have a lovely time zone wherever you are. And I'll see you on Saturday, 9 a.m. New Zealand Standard Time for a date. Not a date with death. We've already done that. Date everything. So, good night, good morning, good evening, and good night. Stay safe out there.